way through the dark days, but you don't know how. You flip the world upside down. And right now you don't want to show it, cause you don't think that anyone will notice. Till you tell someone you feel like you're the only one. And everybody says they're fine, but I know we're not alright. Fine, but I know we're not alright. I know we're not alright. It's always darkest just before the light. I know your silence is a deadly sound. It's never easy when you're breaking down, but I'll be there when you come around.
Come around the song. Just a couple of years ago, the most recent #1 song on the rock chart for Papa Roach, Jerry Horton. Again, 46 years old today. Guitarist, vocalist. It is 9 o'clock at WS.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by T-Mobile Business Advantage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
I'm so excited, I just can't hide it.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi taking inspiration from the Pointer Sisters as lawmakers in the House convene to act on the president's COVID relief bill. Correspondent Nicole Killian.
The $1.9 trillion COVID relief measure has broad support from Democrats, but no Republicans.
Let's help families who are struggling with a targeted relief bill, not just sending everybody a check all across America.
Regardless of the political battle, single mom Sarah Mealy will provide much needed relief.
Things are tight right now, and it's been very difficult.
All COVID restrictions were lifted in Texas this morning. Bar owner Bob Woody in Austin.
There's going to be people that wear masks. Most are not, but there are going to be people that do, and that's fine. I felt like this is where we should have been all along.
Health officials say the UK variant is still spreading there, and it's too soon to get rid of social distancing and mask mandates. Access to vaccines is opening up. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy says anyone 16 and older can get a shot now.
We've been very fortunate that we've been able to protect our most vulnerable, our first-line healthcare workers, many of our folks in rural Alaska. And now's an opportunity for other Alaskans to get the vaccine.
In New York, anyone 60 and older can get one. Democrats in the House have okayed the biggest labor rights bill since the New Deal, but it's up against widespread opposition from the GOP.
Chances are slim for passage in the Senate, where 60 votes are needed to and most Republicans are opposed. Democratic Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan had this to say to Republicans on the House floor.
Stop talking about Dr. Seuss and start working with us on behalf of the American workers.
The bill protecting the right to organize, or the PRO Act, would amend right-to-work laws in 27 states and strengthen workers' ability to unionize. Maria Garcia, CBS News.
Buckingham Palace hopes to move past Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's interview with Oprah after a statement vowing to address their grievances privately. Roya Nika with the UK's Sunday Times.
They have been through the wars in the last few days, but I think they hope that just for the Queen's statement, it might just give both sides a little bit of time to reflect and see if they can progress as a more happy family than we've seen in the last few days and months.
Time to get out there and move. Here's CBS's Nancy Chen.
People who report less physical activity during the pandemic experience poor physical and mental health. A new international study finds reduced exercise can lead and decrease sleep, plus personal and emotional problems.
S&P futures unchanged. 96. This is CBS News.
Switch to T-Mobile for Business and get an amazing deal on your business plan. Stop in-store today for details. Terms and conditions apply. See T-Mobile.com for more.
What you thinking about?
Oh, nothing. Just looking for inspiration.
Oh, here. Inspiration. Noun. The process of being mentally stimulated, especially to do something creative. There.
I know what it is. I want to find it.
Okay, then let's go to Designer's Touch.
You read my mind.
Designer's Touch Decorating Center is your inspiration store. Whether you're looking to Or need that personal touch for your new tiled shower or kitchen backsplash? With over 70 years of combined designer experience, we can make your space feel more like home. Has a fine selection of quality ceramic and porcelain tile, including American Olean, Dull Tile, Marazzi, and their newest collection from Happy Floors and many others. Even Cambria Quartz, American-made and fabricated locally. Go to dtdecorating.com to learn more, or stop in Midland Road in Freeland. No appointment necessary, but always appreciated.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. Consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
By trading up any non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. With COVID matters more than having an accurate thermometer that's backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies like the Exergen temporal scanner. Even after getting the COVID vaccine, you should be monitoring for fever to make sure you are protected. Keep your family and yourself safe by trading up your non-contact thermometer for an accurate temporal scanner and a $5 rebate from Exergen, where accuracy matters. Details at Exergen.com. From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 50 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. The COVID-19 vaccine is becoming more widely available throughout the Great Lakes Bay region. In Bay County, Health Officer Joel Strauss asked that if you're registered with the health department but received the vaccine elsewhere, an email would help them out.
So please send an email to bchd@baycounty.net. with the word appointment or registration on the subject line. In the body of the email, please make sure that you include your name, your date of birth, and your phone number so that we can cross-reference your registration and update our database.
32,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine so far, about half of those by the health department. Free tuition will be available to qualified Michigan students at Saginaw Valley State University in the fall. The university has announced a new program called the SVSU Cardinal Commitment, which will offer free eligible tuition and mandatory fees to qualifying first-time undergraduates with annual family incomes of $50,000 or less. You can find out more about the new program on the SVSU website. One issue that came to the forefront over the past year when the pandemic hit was access to the internet and high-speed service. Many people have been working from home over the past year, while others use technology to visit with loved ones. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist says having technology in homes and businesses was crucial to connecting people and communities.
We know that the pandemic has highlighted actually just how important it is for people to have high-speed, high-quality, affordable internet access from a health and services standpoint, from an education opportunity standpoint.
Gilchrist says the state has been working with Comcast and other cable companies to expand access while keeping the price of service affordable. Gilchrist says some of the infrastructure for technology will be upgraded as roads and bridges in the state are repaired. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Think about it. We could be skiing.
Or we could be warmer.
We could be on a beach.
Or we could, well, we won't get to, so what's it matter?
Well, that means we do have some money to spend. Want to upgrade our countertops?
And not have any need for everyone?
Are you kidding? With the granite and quartz countertops I'm picturing from Stone Specialists, we'll want to show it off.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
But a stone countertop? That's forever.
I like the way you think.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. From imagination to installation, they'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists. Now available by appointment to serve you better with 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
WSGW News Time 9:08. Two men were rescued in separate incidents on ice yesterday on Saginaw Bay. The Huron County Sheriff's Department reports the first man fell through the ice around 4:30 p.m. near the Geiger Road Public Access in Fairhaven Township. Nearby call for help and were able to get him out of the water. The second incident occurred about 10 minutes later off of Bayshore Camp in Sebring Township. Nearby fishermen were able to pull the second victim out. One of the victims was taken to a local hospital for treatment. The Sheriff's Department is reminding residents to stay off the ice. Warming weather has made for unstable and dangerous conditions. No matter how thick or safe someone may think the ice is, this time of the year is the time to stay away. Ford may not be finished downsizing its European operations. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Even after cutting 20% of its European workforce, Ford is looking to save money in that market. The head of Ford of Europe tells Automotive News that could include more capacity cuts or cutting some model lines as they move to an electric future in Europe. European engine and transmission factories could particularly be at risk.
A high school in western Michigan has reopened a day after a student accidentally detonated a homemade explosive in a classroom. And meanwhile, the boy's father is in hot water after a search of his home in Newaygo County. David Saylor is charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor and manufacture or possession of a Molotov cocktail. Police say Saylor's 16-year-old son brought in Newaygo High School and accidentally detonated it, injuring himself, 4 other students, and a teacher. The prosecutor says a teen lost both thumbs. Police say the explosion was not something that was planned. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Increasing clouds for today. Highs will be 60s. South-southwest winds will be breezy 10 to 20 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, cloudy and continued breezy. Mild as lows only make it down into the middle 50s. Wind stays south-southwest 10 to 20. Higher gusts stay possible as well. Thursday, partly sunny and still breezy. Chance for rain developing. Highs top out near 63. And then Thursday night, partly cloudy to mostly clear, and lows head down into the 30s. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Right now it's 48.
Now, the only local radio with a chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome back. Another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. A Wednesday morning, promises to be a cloudy day, but a warm day here in the Great Lakes Bay region. Looks like we'll be in the mid-60s today. Refreshing, to say the least. I can picture the golf course now. Eventually. Anyway, the first hour, this hour, we're going to have open phones, and our numbers, of course, 989-752-6111 and 866-790-WSGW, the 866 number for inside the state of Michigan only. If you're outside the state of Michigan, call the 989-752-6111 number. And whatever you'd like to chat about in this first hour, it is an open hour. Next hour, we're going to talk to several folks from the city of Saginaw, including the city manager and clerk, about the new rules governing marijuana business in the city of Saginaw. We'll talk to them about that. At 11 o'clock on Focus, we're going to focus on the real estate business with Linda Shepard from Pinnacle Realty. All of that coming up this morning. And don't forget, you can watch my ugly face on twitch.tv, Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. As we video our program now, we video stream my end of it, and eventually we are working on having our guests video stream with us so we can actually see the guest as we do the interviews. And that'll be coming up in the very near future. We now know how to do it. It's just a question of getting it done. Meantime, I have to mention this. I chuckled this morning. I happened to flip on when I got up this morning and I was having some breakfast. I flipped on the tube just to see what was going on one of the morning talk shows. And I had to chuckle. And maybe it's just a sign of the times with all the negative things going on and all the serious news out there. The two featured stories that they were working on where they actually devoted lots of time to it, not just as a news story, but where they did a feature. The Queen's response to Harry and Meghan and the banishment of Champ and Major, the White House dogs, back to Delaware. Those were it. And I went, I think in a way it's a good thing. Because, let's take our mind off of all the other stuff going on in COVID-19 and all the problems that are happening in the world. And, maybe these are comic relief in some way. Not that the royal situation is comedy, but in some ways, worldwide, when you look at it relative to what's happening in the world, it is. It has pointed out some things that really I question. For example, the accusation was made that Meghan Markle bullied some of the staff at the palace and drove out a couple of assistants. And that accusation has brought online an investigation to find out if it's true. But the accusation of racism in the royal family does not bring on an investigation. Instead, that will be handled privately. Let's think about that for a moment. Bullying gets an investigation. Racism doesn't. And something else came to the forefront, which I never realized. I have to admit this. I never realized this. We all know about racism in this country, in the United States. It's been well documented and still goes on in many areas. But I always thought that blacks in Britain did not suffer the same type of racism. I was wrong. Apparently, in Britain, there is a great distrust of the royal family in the African-American, I can't call them African-Americans, African-British, in the black community in England. They look at the royal family as the ultimate vision of white supremacy when you think about it, and it goes back 1,200 years. And I never gave that a consideration before, but I guess it's true. But I found it fascinating that they would choose to investigate an alleged bullying by Meghan Markle just before her interview with Oprah, but they won't investigate the accusation of racism. All right, to our phones in Saginaw. Errol is waiting for us. Good morning, Errol.
You really need a hobby, don't you, sir?
This is my hobby.
Oh, okay.
No, I build model boats. That's my hobby. Okay.
I'm not going to talk about that. You ever meet someone that you really liked from the first time you met him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to say that about Paul Beguette. I've known him for quite a few years. What a nice man he was.
Amen.
And I miss his passing, and I'm sorry for their family.
Yeah, well,
a person to talk to and help.
You have anticipated a comment I was going to make, and I appreciate that. I thank you for it. Paul, for those that don't know,
I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, right. Hang on a minute. For those that don't know, Paul Begic from the Nursery and Garden Center, who was on the radio with me for 40 years, passed away a couple of days ago. And viewing and visitation will be tomorrow, and interment will be Friday. Paul was 84 years old and a true gentleman. Not only that, but I assume he will get full military honors too, because he was a colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves. And for many, many years, he was the liaison to West Point in this region. He was just a neat guy with a really, quirky sense of humor and knowledge about the garden business like nobody. And really, he's going to be missed. And I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I had a little problem here with part of my lawn. Friend says, well, I come and look at it. And I says, you live in a big city. And it's like, that's all right. I'll take a ride. So
yeah,
I always liked him, and anyone that met him always enjoyed his company. So that's all I'm talking about this morning, sir.
Condolences to the family, and I thank you for mentioning it. Thank you, Earl. Take care. Bye-bye now. Paul in Saginaw, before we take a pause here. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. I got two things to talk about. Number one, Roger Mudd's passing. I thought he was one of the best in-your-face deliveries of the news I ever heard.
And a local tie. A local tie. He was related to the Mudd family here in town. And, of course, we all know the story of Dr. Mudd in the Civil War.
Right. And the other thing I wanted to mention was Meghan Markle said she was raised as an only child. And I read Dr. Kevin Lehman's book on the birth order connection, and he said that only children have a history of thin skin and being sensitive to criticism, and that could be why she is talking the way she is right now.
Is that right? Well, I'm gonna dispute that, and you know why I'm going to dispute that? Because I'm an only child, and I got thick skin, and criticism doesn't bother me a bit.
Well, you've had a lot of experience.
Well, you don't think she has as a Hollywood actress? Oh, come on. She's a Hollywood actress.
Yeah.
She's got lots of experience at it.
Yeah, but this is down and personal. This is family. This isn't professional. This is family, personal. And
okay.
They have a history.
I take that book and throw
I'm an
it away.
only child, and I'm an only child, and I have thin skin sometimes.
Well, everybody's different, aren't we?
Sometimes
everybody's different. I'm not one who believes in generalizations, so you can take that book and bury it, as far as I'm concerned. As an only child, I say get rid of it. All right, good enough, Paul.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Lines open for you. We'll get back to our calls. Is that Pat making that comment online here? Yes, it is. Pat, is your wife an only child? Yes.
Yes, she is. She is.
Talk to me. Yeah. So Professor Heather would not agree with that book, huh?
Not one bit.
I wouldn't either. Funny. Well, anyway, it's one book I'm not going to read. Anyhow, let's take a pause here. One of the things I want to talk to you about is Thalen Ram Truck. We, in the state of Michigan and elsewhere in the country, are absolutely in love with pickup trucks for a lot of reasons. I mean, their size, their utility, their go-anywhere attitude. And the one I fancy that I'm driving right now from Thalen is a Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x4. And I want to tell you, when I get in this vehicle and drive this truck, it gives me enormous confidence on the road, to the point where you have to remember that it's a big vehicle, and you have to remember that you're driving something that has a lot of weight to it, and you can't, you have to pay attention. But you should do that when you drive anyway. But I love it. I mean, it's technologically capable. It's luxurious. Has a host of best-in-class features and class exclusives, and it is just a great vehicle to drive. And you can find out for yourself. Stop into Thalen Ram on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Take a look at their extensive inventory. Find the Ram truck that's right for you. Comes in various fittings and trims and styles. And take one for a test drive. Then sit down with a Thalen representative and find out about any incentives to buy or lease a brand new Ram truck. You will be glad you did. And remember this, that Thalen searches the market for the lowest prices on their new and used vehicles. And that's the price you pay. They do that because it is the right thing to do. And you can find out more online if you go to thinkthalen.com and take a look at the Ram trucks. I want to tell you, you'll be satisfied. You'll be happy. It's a work beast. It'll do anything you have in mind. Ram truck from Thalen Ram. We'll take a break and we will be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
COVID-19, we're now facing flu season. So to protect us all, let's hit this virus head on. Get your flu vaccine. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Do you have an accounting background and looking for the next step in your career? Alpha Media is looking for their next manager who will help grow our 5 local radio stations and digital products. If you have a strong accounting background and would like to work for a great company, and apply at alphamediausa.com. Radio is a fun business, and we would love to have you join our team. Go to alphamediausa.com and apply for the business manager position in Saginaw. Alpha Media is an equal opportunity employer.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
You may have paid a little more for things last month, but the Consumer Price Index rose just 0.4% in February. The increase is considered modest and matched the forecasts from economists. Excluding food and energy, the core CPI was up 0.1%, and over the year ending in February, 0.7%. General Electric is confirming that it will combine its GE Capital Aviation Services business with Ireland's AerCap Holdings. GE will receive $24 billion in cash and will still own 46% of the combined company. Chicken chain El Pollo Loco is trying out a new post-pandemic restaurant design. It includes patio and accommodates digital ordering. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Some big news. Since Election Day, almost 5 million people have downloaded the free Newsmax TV app on their smartphone. You can trust Newsmax TV. Watch it for free anytime. And go to Newsmax.com for breaking news. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Call your operator if they don't carry it. Plus, watch Newsmax on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Zumo, TiVo Plus, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax for real people. Start watching today.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis. Weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
When's the last time you looked at your bathroom? Second thought, you might not want to make eye contact with that old faucet. It's time to head to Lowe's for some home improvement. Choose from stylish brands like American Standard, Delta, and Style Selections. And transform your before bath after bathroom. Woohoo! You can't see her, but she's high-fiving herself. Don't just do it yourself. Do it for yourself. Stop by Lowe's or visit Lowe's.com/DIFY for vanities starting at $99. Valid through 3/31 U.S. only.
Switch to T-Mobile for Business and get up to 90 days of service free via virtual rebate on your business plan. You get a great deal, the largest 5G network, and first-class benefits like Microsoft 360. It's better for business and only with T-Mobile for Business. Limited time offer. Stop in store for details. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Virtual Express MasterCard within 8 weeks of receipt of valid submission. Complete port within 60 days. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices, coverage, and plan details.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Moving from 7 p.m. weeknights to starting March 15th on WSGW.
All right. Another thing happening on the 15th is Tom Sullivan returning to WSGW. He'll be on from 7 to 10 nightly, and we will talk to Tom on Monday. We'll have him on the show, and you'll be able to call in and chat with him. David is in Midland. That's where we go next. David, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I wanted to respond to what you're saying about the Royal family and all that.
Having trouble hearing you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Better, yes.
Okay. All right, so you were talking about the royal family not long ago.
Yeah.
And just one thing that I wanted to not exactly point out, but ask this question: when did we become involved with the royal family as a republic and not a monarchy over here? And I just, I mean that literally. I don't mean that as a sarcastic question.
No, I understand that.
Literally, we became involved when Prince Harry came over to Las Vegas and did some pretty unmoralistic things that the royal family.
Yeah, we've been involved long before that. We've been involved as a nation because we love soap opera drama, and they certainly have had enough of it. You got to remember this. Princess Diana died long before Harry came over here and did his Las Vegas partying and all of that stuff. We, and not only us, the world has a fascination with royalty, and I cannot tell you why. And I've said this over the past several days. We've talked about this, and I sit here on the one hand saying I have no idea why we are so fascinated with the royals after we spent blood and treasure throwing them out of this country when we first formed it. Yet at the same time, I'm guilty of it, and I don't know what it is about them that attracts everybody and attracts this kind of attention. But the fact is, they do. And, I don't have the answer.
Right, I think that's good and fine that we're
okay, your phone is getting fuzzy again.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
Yep, whatever you're using, stay on the phone.
Okay. I just said, and obviously it's all good and fine to be interested in the royal family, but I actually getting involved and making criticism of them is not really our place as a country, I would think. And I think that Harry and Meghan are after something here, and they're trying to use America to get it.
No, I don't know. Listen,
if nothing else, they're after drama.
First of all, they're
getting it.
We as Americans can criticize anybody we want, and they criticize us regularly. That's not even a problem. That's, we have the right to say what we want about whoever we want, within reason, of course. But anytime you see what you view as an injustice, you're going to comment on it. That's the nature of the beast. So listen, as far as Harry and Meghan go, I tend to agree that they are setting their own course, and they're very good at self-promoting. That does not take away from the seriousness of the accusations they made. So on the one hand, I understand that, they're now independent, and they're their own firm in a way, and worth millions of dollars, and will be worth millions more. But that does not change the import or seriousness of the accusations they made. I suspect.
And I just think that if this had happened in any other family, it wouldn't have made national news, though. Like, I remember when.
Well, of course not. They're
my
royals.
cousin, when my cousin got engaged to a black man in the family, not with me, but with my grandparents and my parents, and they were, and my cousin's parents, and it was a huge scandal in the family, and people like shunned them. The older generation of our family shunned them and things like that. And I can see how that might happen with the royal family, but it's also kind of family business. I feel sorry for the royal family sometimes because they didn't choose to be popular; they were born that way.
Yeah, but they had the ability to change, and they haven't. They're so steeped in tradition, 1,200 years worth, that they are loath to change, and sometimes change becomes inevitable. Everyone thought that the inclusion of Meghan Markle in the royal family would add a new element of youth and acceptance and diversity into the royals. Doesn't seem to have done that. So, all right, David, I appreciate the call. Right. Thanks, my friend. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. Let's talk to Mark in Midland. Mark, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
We're doing well, thanks.
Hey, there was a story yesterday on down south where people, they were throwing COVID shots away because multiple signups on different websites was creating lists that people weren't showing up and they couldn't contact. I know on your microphone there, you told people to go out there and find as many sites as you can to do that. Do you still feel strongly on that with the COVID shots being reported being tossed out down south?
Here's what I think about it. I think you should sign up, but once you get the shot, you ought to notify those sites that you have already gotten your shot. There's a dual responsibility. There's the responsibility of getting the shot, getting vaccinated, and then there's the responsibility of notifying those who you have signed up with that you have the shot, so that they don't waste a slot. And I've read those stories. I understand what you're saying, and we've seen it around here too. What's happened, though, is some people will then show up at these sites and wait for hours just in case there are surplus shots, and then they get a shot. I think we have to take some responsibility, and the responsibility is to notify those that you've been taken care of. It's that simple. And if we don't do that, then we are wasting a prized possession, to say the least.
Oh yeah, I agree. I just I think as we keep going and more people get vaccinated, I don't. Multiple places will be the key. I mean, it's going to be readily available for just about anyone. Eventually, especially at like CVS and stuff like that. I just wish the contact would be with individuals that are producing, or not producing, but are administering the shots. If they had a little bit tighter and a better program as far as communicating with the places that are getting vaccinated, and
in other words, a master list.
Registrations.
A master list.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
everyone in
together.
In the beginning, that's the way it was, because in the beginning it was the county health departments, and that's where you registered. I think you've hit upon something. It might have been wise not to have individual registrations at pharmacies and other places, that everybody had to register through the county, and then the county could provide that list to the pharmacies, who could then disperse the vaccines, and you would have had that control. But that didn't happen, so it's hindsight.
Right, it's just a learning lesson, and hopefully somebody's writing it down in a book somewhere, so when there's a pandemic crisis, we open it up, and these are the protocols.
Listen, life is a learning experience, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, good enough. Mark, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye. Chris, hang on in Midland. We'll get to you right after these notes here on WSGW. We'll be back on the Art Lewis Show.
I'm elder law attorney Carol Thomas. Our Saginaw seminars are coming up, and they're going to be on Wednesday, March 24th at the Horizons Conference Center. I have seminars at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, and they always fill to capacity. These have been very difficult times for everyone, but I'm finding that more than ever, people want to come to my seminars. So unfortunately, we have to have less attendance because we honor social distancing. But the people that have come to my seminars since this all began are very grateful to hear the information. If you don't know what you don't know, there's a chance if you or a loved one need nursing home care. At the seminar, we talk about wills and trusts and how it all fits together. If you've ever wondered about, should I go to one of Carol's seminars, I would say I highly recommend it. I have sessions at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. They're in Saginaw at the Horizons Conference Center. The seminars that we've had since this began have filled up to capacity, so if you are interested, please call my office at 793-2300.
Need more time to pay down your credit card debt? Wish you didn't have a large annual percentage rate? Capocco Credit Union can help with that with a credit card balance transfer. With a 6.99% APR and no balance transfer fee, Capocco Credit Union can get you free. But don't wait. This offer is only valid from March 1st to March 31st of this year. Visit capocco.org to find out more on their credit card balance transfer. Minimum $500 transfer. Subject to credit membership. Required go-to rate after 12 months is 9.9% APR.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Spring break is around the corner, and you may be pulling out those summer clothes and grabbing that swimsuit. But Associates in Eye Care wants you to remember to pack those sunglasses, too. Most of us acquire nearly 80% of our lifetime UV exposure before the age of 18, so it's extremely important for children to have sunglasses with UV protection. Ultraviolet rays have harmful effects on the eyes that can lead to cataracts and macular degeneration when we're older. So make an appointment with Dr. Cox or Dr. Kazmarek at their Saginaw or Hemlock location. Call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
2 chocolate chip muffins coming in. Thank you.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Hey, can someone get that?
Like at Claire's Cafe. To satisfy demand for takeout, she needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 job post. Terms and conditions apply.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Discover and enjoy your favorite music, news, and talk radio from live stations across the country. Listen anywhere on all mobile and home devices with the radio.com app.
Tom Sullivan returns weeknights at 7 starting March 15th on WSGW. This is the Stone Specialist Studios. 100 Radio WSGW 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Back to our phones. Chris is in Midland. Chris, good morning to you. Welcome. Chris, are you there?
Art, I'm in a bad spot again. I'm in the black hole in Midland here. Can you hear me?
We got you now. Well, I did.
Yeah, I was sitting in my car here in my driveway, and I moved a quarter of an inch, and everything went wacko.
Oh, well, you're fine now.
I wanted to compliment the last caller. He brought up some good points, and you countered with some good stuff. Isn't there a PSA running on your now concerning that very issue of if you contact multiple sites, to make sure to go back and or maybe Dave was talking about it in the news.
I think it was a news story from the Bay County Health Department, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But
it's only common sense if you get...
Yeah,
it's only common sense if you get your shot, you better go back and notify the other people you signed up with to get your name off the list.
Yeah, otherwise, because you'll be getting calls, and if you don't answer the calls and that appointment is booked and you don't show up, that's a wasted dose unless they can find somebody to give it to.
Right. Now that begs another problem or discussion. Why are the doses gone so far ahead that they lose their, if they're the ones that have to be hyper refrigerated, versus the J&J drug that doesn't have to be frozen, versus refrigerated? I said that
only
wrong.
Pfizer
the
was,
and the other ones that
Pfizer was
the
deep
Moderna
freeze.
and the other ones that need to be frozen.
Well, Moderna didn't need the deep freeze like Pfizer did. There is a time restriction on how long those doses can be taken out, and when you take them out, there are so many doses in a box. Then you take that box out, and you have a number of people you're going to vaccinate. Let's say we'll pick a number because they get about 6 shots out of each vial. Let's say there's, I don't know how many there are, 24 vials in a box. I'm making up numbers now. So let's say let's just pick a number. Let's say there's 150 doses in a box, and you got 150 people scheduled, and 140 show up, and you don't have 10 more people to give those shots to. They're only good for a certain period of time. I think the total lifespan out of the refrigerator is like 6 hours or something like that. And by the time you're done giving your shots, all of a sudden you discover you've got 10 doses left and you don't have 10 people to give them to. What do you do with it? You can't put them back. They're out already. They're done. So you either got to use them or you lose them. And they're not in a position. Go ahead.
That means a different system has to be devised where that whole box doesn't the freezer.
No, and I'll tell you why they won't do that. They won't do that because when you look at the overall scheme of things, the total percentage of lost doses is infinitesimal. We think it's big because we heard, it was so difficult to get doses and all of that. And now with the free flow of doses and they're becoming more and more readily available, they're not going to change the system for the infinitesimal amount of doses they're losing. If they lose a couple of doses out of thousands, it's not going to cause them to change the system. And,
our tax dollars is being thrown out because of that.
Well, it probably costs you more to fix it than it does to let it happen that way. Listen, there's, the bottom line is there's balance in everything. Cost, reward, and all that stuff. So it's, nothing is perfect. Let's put it that way. How's that? Nothing is perfect.
Oh, I know that. Everybody gets their hands on it.
Every system has its flaws. This is one of the flaws. But again, it's not the kind of flaw that's going to change the system just because of it. To a degree, it's a guessing game, and you sometimes guess right, sometimes you guess wrong.
All right.
Thank you. Hey, my friend, thanks for calling. Take care. Bye-bye now. In Saginaw, we find Wayne this morning. Wayne, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. This is Wayne.
Yeah.
I got my shot Sunday was scheduled, and I went with her, and they gave me an extra shot.
Where was that?
I was registered at Delta College.
You went to Delta, okay.
Sunday.
Yeah.
I was registered at the Saginaw County office.
Right.
I was registered at Myers.
Yep.
To get it.
Yep.
We called Myers, and we wanted to cancel since I got it Sunday. They says there's no way we can take you all off the list. So they says what they're going to do is they're going to call you, refuse it, call you the second time, refuse it, then they'll take you off the list.
Doesn't make any sense, does it?
So Monday I did get a call from Myers, and I had to push 3 if I wanted to be removed off the list.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me a couple days in advance before they thawed them out. So you can get off the list, and they shouldn't throw mine out now because they can find somebody else.
Because you followed the directions and you did that. Not everybody does. Not everybody answers the calls.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
And then I did get called from Saginaw too that same afternoon. I canceled that then too. So hopefully they'll reuse them.
Yeah, I've had both mine, and I got called by the list too, and just said no. But again, I do think that I don't understand the answer that says they can't take you off the list if you call them. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but maybe that's because the person you talk to doesn't have access to the list. I don't know. Who knows?
And maybe it was because it was Sunday too. But you would have thought that since Saginaw County did Delta that they would.
Yeah.
Or don't they cross their list that they've done?
Well, that's the question, and I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if they're all different lists. I go back to what I said earlier. I think they should have had one list and names dispersed off that list by the county to the various organizations that were giving the shots. That way you don't have multiple players like this. Anyway, it's a learning experience. So we go forward. Wayne, thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the show. Great.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye-bye now. We'll take a pause. Let me talk to you for a moment about our friends at Blue Cross Blue Shield. When you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and with the help that you need. With the Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plans allow you to refill and pick up your medications from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company that more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust with their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbsm.com/senior care. We'll be back after these notes.
Hi, Stephen here from Crane's L&M Appliance Center. I need your help. Truckloads of appliances are showing up at my store, and my warehouse is filling up fast. So how can you help? See me today. I'll show you deals on new laundry, cooking, and refrigeration that you can't beat anywhere else. Brand names like GE, Frigidaire, Speed Queen, and many, many more. New, scratch and dent, and pre-orders, I have it all. But remember, some models are limited. Crane's L&M Appliance Center, 3260. Best to fit every budget, from new to reconditioned and scratch and dent. Check out our inventory at craneslnm.com. At Cranes L&M, we work with you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates. Other companies might deliver a lot of hay. ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Do you have an accounting background and looking for the next step in your career? Alpha Media is looking for their next manager who will help grow our 5 local radio stations and digital products. If you have a strong accounting for a great company and great local team, apply at alphamediausa.com. Radio is a fun business, and we would love to have you join our team. Go to alphamediausa.com and apply for the business manager position in Saginaw. Alpha Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your car insurance with Right Track, which rewards you for safe driving.
As the world's most careful driver, that's perfect. Now applying 2 pounds of force for acceleration. You really turning in 0.3 miles and begin a deceleration.
With Liberty Mutual's Right Track, you could earn up to 30% savings based on how you drive. Sign up at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Discount on participating vehicles, base coverages only. Availability varies.
Rebound loose. Brooks saves it. Finds Dickinson for a 2-hand stop. And Tom Izzo calls time.
It's Michigan basketball. The Wolverines move on to postseason basketball as they play in the Big Ten quarterfinals live Friday morning at 11 on 790 News Radio WSGW with tip-off at 11:30. Michigan basketball is brought to you by Forward Energy, Schaefer Beer Line Ram Trucks in Frankenmuth, Lingle Equipment in Saginaw, and Wolf Files Ace Hardware in Saginaw. It's Michigan basketball on WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show and back to our phones in this open line hour. Alan is in Saginaw Township. Alan, good morning.
Good morning. The vaccine shots. Just a side note, my wife and I will be finishing ours up this Saturday morning at Rite Aid. And in the meantime, of course, going back to like January 11th, we signed up at the county and at Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
So recently, just as the previous caller, I think it was, explained, they got a call from Meyer. He tried to cancel, but I didn't do that. As I waited for the call from Meyer, I got the call, and as the previous caller did, I chose option 3 and bowed out, saying I'd had my shot.
Sure.
And so that all worked fine. But back to this coordination or a master list, I think Joel Strauss from Bay County has done a great job of staying in touch with the public. Certainly see him a lot more and learn more from him than we have from, in my opinion, from the Saginaw County people. And anyway, Joel's been very upfront, and here's where we are, and here's why I'm saying what I'm saying, and I think he does a good job. And he explained about a week ago, on TP5's 11 o'clock news is where I saw it, I believe, that there should have been, but there really isn't a master list in Bay County. There are many lists going, and there's no coordination and no way for any one of them to know what the other is doing.
Well, that goes back to the very beginning when they should have started with just one list. And Bay County's not alone in that. All the counties,
No. And since there isn't there, I'm sure that's the case pretty much everywhere that these things popped up. I mean, Rite Aid started doing it, so they have a list.
Sure, and that's it.
And it's the county itself says, don't call us. Don't call us. I've seen that on their website. Don't call us. So, and I did try to call actually, and couldn't get a person. Couldn't leave a message. So and trying to do my duty in that sense, like I did with Meyer, I canceled out through their means. I haven't done that with the county because I have not, to my knowledge, received a call or a call that might have been theirs that I missed. But it is in a disarray in that sense. And as Joel Strauss, I work for this brother Bob, as Joel Strauss put it, hindsight's great again. We apologize, but this next time around, if there is a next time around,
it'll be different.
We'll know better.
Yeah.
We'll know better.
All right.
Yeah. So it's a tough job. I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're getting through it. But,
get your second shot.
Yep, you betcha.
All right.
You betcha. Thank you.
Good enough, Alan. Take care. Bye-bye now. And got about 2 minutes for Gene in Bay City, our last caller this hour. Gene, good morning.
Hi, I got a good story for you today. I went over for my second shot at the community center in Bay City. And, a lot of people, the old people, and they don't want to, a lot of them don't want to bother their family and have them take off from work, so they're coming alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so nice. They had a young girl volunteer, and she was taking anybody that had a cane or a walker or was having trouble walking. She would ask them if they'd like a ride in the wheelchair. And she was giving all these people a ride in the wheelchair out to their car because you have to park kind of a distance.
Right.
And especially when you're older, it's painful and tiring sometimes to have to walk very far.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. She had a great big smile, and she was just a volunteer. And she was taking people back and forth, and I thought that was so wonderful.
Well, Gene, that's a great way to end the hour, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome. You have a nice day.
You too, dear. Thanks. Bye-bye now. All right, that's going to do it for calls of this hour on the Art Lewis Show. We'll take our last break, and then we'll be back to close out the hour and move ahead to the next here on the Art Lewis Show.
It's that time of the year you've been waiting for. Spicer's huge boat show and sale. Browse tons of the best mercury-powered pontoons, speedboats, and fishing boats safely in the comfort of our 2 heated showrooms. Our COVID standards are in place so you can be worry-free while you shop our huge selection. Comfortably take in the feeling of being on the water this summer with must-see boats, powered by incredible Mercury and Merc Cruiser motors, like this Sylvan L3 bar pontoon with a large lounge that converts to a 4-person bar with bar stools, or a hot Mercury-powered Lund fishing boat loaded with live well, fish finder, and even a trolling motor. Just add the tackle. Of course, we have the hot-selling Sea-Doo Spark, but not to be outdone, we have added Yamaha Wave Runners as well. Tubing, wakeboarding, fishing, boat that fits. Spicer's Boat Show and Sale going on right now at Michigan's Destination Fun, Spicer's Boat City, N55 and Houghton Lake.
Hear that? That's the sound of high-yielding soybeans. When it comes to results in my fields, it begins with effective weed control. That's why I choose the Roundup Ready Extend crop system. It controls more weeds than any other soybean system, and with up to 14 days of soil activity on certain small-seeded broadleaf weeds, my fields are set up for long-lasting protection from mare's tail, water hemp, Palmer amaranth, and other tough-to-control weeds. With XtendFlex soybeans, I'm getting triple tolerance to dicamba, glyphosate, and now glufosinate. That's 3 modes of action in my toolkit. flexibility, advanced weed control, and proven performance. That's why the Roundup Ready Extend crop system is the #1 choice for so many of us. I choose results. I choose the Roundup Ready Extend.
Based on approved EPA herbicide labels as of October 2020. Pair with a strong weed management program. Always read and follow IRM where applicable. Grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2020 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Merrill Fields Assisted Living is a state-licensed community welcoming full-time residents and short-term respite care guests. For more information, call today at 989-532 or visit merrillfields.com.
All right, that's going to put a cap on this hour. We'll be back next hour. We have several guests to talk to next hour from the city of Saginaw about the new marijuana rules in the city of Saginaw for opening up a marijuana business. We will find out more about that during the 10 o'clock hour. And on Focus, we'll focus on real estate with Linda Shepard from Pinnacle Real Estate. All of that is ahead this morning. First, though, the news, CBS at the top of the hour, followed by the local report to bring you up to date on everything happening in the region. And then we'll be back with you right after the news. Talk to you then.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The House will be in order.
Debate has resumed in Congress on President Biden's COVID relief package, which would provide $1,400 stimulus checks to many Americans, as well as an extension of $300 jobless benefits and larger child tax credits. Georgia Republican price is too high.
$1.9 trillion in spending is reckless, irresponsible, and the wrong thing to do.
New York Democrat Brian Higgins.
This plan is supported by 75% of the American people. Will return the American economy to full employment and will grow that economy by 6%, a rate not seen in many, many decades.
Democrats are expected to pass the legislation today and send it on to the president's desk. CBS News has learned the Biden administration will purchase 100 million additional vaccine doses from Johnson & Johnson. No details yet on when they'll be delivered. The president J&J and Merck today. Some people are already cashing in with phony vaccine cards, proving you've gotten your shots. Correspondent Cammie McCormick has the story.
The card is the key to the kingdom of returning to that land of normalcy.
But a simple paper card is easy for some to fake.
Used it to print up fake cards that they were then selling on eBay.
And Professor Bill Cressy of Governor State University says there's another problem.
As of right now, copying one of those cards does not appear to be illegal. So we do not even have a sanction if somebody were to do that.
Some countries are already developing digital cards.
Governor David Ige has declared in Hawaii.
Crazy.
Torrential rains have led to flooding, landslides, and fear of dam failures. Sean Alexander watched his truck and his pet go under in Maui.
The dog actually survived it. Got swept away, but it came up like 10 minutes later.
A month after Texas was slammed by a deadly winter storm, plumbers are still in high demand. Alex Schupman in Austin says he's hustling to keep up with calls for broken pipes.
I worked about 14, 15 days in a row and started at 8, ending at 7 or 8. So it's been pretty hectic.
Thousands of people in Jackson, Mississippi still have no running water. Keep an eye out if you're taking a walk. CBS's Maria Garcia explains.
It's not a distinction most cities want, but the Orlando area continues to be the #1 most dangerous place in the nation for pedestrians. That's according to stats from Dangerous by Design, a report analyzing pedestrian deaths and city roads across the U.S.
The Dow is up 324 points. This is CBS News.
proves less is more. Indeed's Instant Match instantly searches its database of millions of resumes, delivering candidates who best fit your job description. More at Indeed.com/credit.
Small business owners don't have the patience for nonsense, especially when it comes to their internet provider. They want the best services for the best price. Simply put, that's Spectrum Business. They give you great value, zero nonsense. Just call 833-919-2121. You'll get fast, reliable internet and phone with no contracts and no hidden fees, all for a price that could cut your bill in business. Call today, 833-919-2121.
Since Election Day, more than 5 million people have downloaded the Newsmax TV app on their smartphone. It's free, and you can watch Newsmax right away. Newsmax is on all major cable systems, smart TVs, Roku, YouTube, Xumo, and Pluto. So go to Newsmax.com for the latest news and get the Newsmax TV app to watch Sebastian Gorka, Dick Morris, Chris Milk, Michelle Malkin, and Mike Huckabee. Everyone is talking about Newsmax, so download the free app now.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
As we continue to face COVID-19, we're now facing flu season. So to protect us all, let's hit this virus head on. Get your flu vaccine. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, WSGW. Hi, this is Tom Sullivan. Have you heard? I'm returning to WSGW starting Monday, March 15th. My show will be on from 7 to 10. Weeknight. Join me, Tom Sullivan, on WSGW.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 54 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. The County Health Department says confirmed positive cases of COVID-19 are up since last week. Health Officer 0.4% of tests in Bay County are coming back positive, compared with 4.6% last week. He says the goal is to be at 1% or less, and urged residents to continue taking precautions against the virus.
The new variants are here. They are much more contagious and may cause more serious illness in seniors and persons who are immunocompromised. And even though we are making progress on vaccinating residents, we cannot let our guard down yet.
Strauss says 32,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered, with over 2,000 more expected this week. Bay County residents can register for the vaccine on the Health Department website, along with other providers, including some pharmacies such as Meijer and Rite Aid. If you've registered with the Health Department but obtained the vaccine elsewhere, Strauss says they would appreciate an email to let them know. After a proposed $2.5 billion proposal with COVID-19 relief funds was approved with sections limiting state pandemic powers vetoed by Governor Gretchen Whitmer, State Representative Timmy Beeson from Bay City says more needs to be done for businesses. Beeson spoke before the House floor Tuesday, saying the governor has been making the matter a political rather than helping businesses affected by statewide shutdowns.
We have the opportunity now to go home, look these people in the eyes, and tell them we helped. We delivered. We made sure we did everything we could to lift the weight off their shoulders. I'm disappointed that our governor chose to keep waging power struggle over being a leader and who she's helping. I came here to create and vote for legislation my friends and neighbors back home tell me they need. They need their livelihoods to stay afloat.
His statements were made during a debate to override the governor's vetoes, but the state house did not gather the 73 votes needed for an override. The bill includes hundreds of millions needed to provide a $2.25 per hour wage increase for frontline workers, nearly $223 million assistance, and more than $650 million to assist with COVID-19 testing, contact tracing, and vaccine distribution. WSGW News Time is 10:07.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. For a limited time, you can get a queen-size premium MyPillow for the lowest price ever. Regularly $69.98, now only $29.98. You can adjust My Pillow's patented fill so you have exact support you need regardless of your sleep position. It comes with a 10-year warranty. It's washable and dryable so it stays healthy, and it's 100% made in the USA. I'm also going to give you deep discounts on all my, including my Giza Dream bed sheets, my mattress toppers, bath towels, and so much more. That's $29.98 for a queen-size premium MyPillow, the lowest price ever, and deep discounts on all my MyPillow products.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special, or call 800-635-1825 and use promo code SKY.
WSTW News Time is 10:08. The Mackinac Center Legal Foundation has filed a lawsuit against the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services after the department refused to release data related to nursing homes. WSTW's Rick Antonio has more.
The Midland-based center is representing journalist Charlie LaDuff, who was denied state records after submitting a Freedom of Information Act request in January after the state's COVID-19 dashboard added an asterisk to its data in December, claiming new death numbers were found as part of a vital records search. LaDuff filed a FOIA request on January 27th asking for a listing of all Michigan COVID-19 deaths during the month of December that were identified in the vital records search, but says he was sent a link to the state's website, which contained summarized data that had previously been released publicly. Steve Daly, the Mackinac Center's policy lead on transparency and open government, says, quote, "It is essential that the public have access to the data about nursing home deaths in Michigan, and that it is no longer acceptable for the government to provide statistics and ask citizens to simply accept them as true." The Mackinac Center says the MDHHS refused to release any additional information, claiming that it would be a privacy violation, even after LaDuff clarified the request needed to only provide ages and dates of death when the death was added to the department's official ceased contracted COVID-19 at a long-term care facility. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The Huron County Sheriff's Department is warning people to stay off the ice after two people needed to be rescued yesterday. The first incident happened about 4:30 when a man fell through the ice near the Geiger Road public access in Fairhaven Township. Nearby people were able to hear the man call for help and were able to pull him out of the water. The second incident was about 10 minutes later off Bayshore Camp in Seaboyne Township. Nearby fishermen were able to pull that second victim out. One of the victims was taken to a local hospital for treatment. The department says no ice is safe this time of year as warming temperatures make for unstable and dangerous conditions, no matter how seasoned a fisherman might be. WSTW News Time is you see news happening. Call the WSTW Newsroom, 752-0790. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few spotty rain showers at times here for today, with partial sunshine developing and a high into the mid-60s. Winds out of the south around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 35. Then for tonight, a slight chance for rain showers here late, mostly cloudy and a low near 56. By Thursday, a chance for rain showers, partial sunshine develops, high around 62 degrees. Then by Friday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 49. Saturday, mostly sunny, high around 42, and Sunday, sunshine, a high of 42. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vujcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on Wednesday morning. Nice to have you with us. Recently, the city of Saginaw changed its position as to marijuana businesses, recreational marijuana in the city of Saginaw. Originally, they opted out, and there was a sunset clause on the law, and one thing led to another, and now the city of Saginaw will allow for adult marijuana businesses, adult recreational marijuana businesses. We'll talk about that this morning with a trio of guests. First, we say good morning to the city manager of the city of Saginaw, Tim Morales. Tim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks for being with us this morning. Appreciate it. Also with us is the city clerk. We say good morning to Janet Santos. Janet, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. And also with us, and he is involved in, John, how would I describe your job? John Stemple is with us this morning. How do you describe yourself? You seem to have so many hats.
Good morning, Art. Well, it's something different every day. You know, we deal with inspections and zoning issues and parking enforcement and whatever else comes along the way that we can do to help make our city better.
There we are. So John Stemple, the catch-all. All right, let's Tim, let's start with how we got to where we are now with the city accepting applications for adult marijuana recreational use. How did we get here?
Well, it was a process that evolved, as you mentioned. I will say that we didn't really change our policy. What we did was we set up a study session where we wanted to get public input with the issues, study other ordinances. So that's why we made the move to have an opt-out, but with the sunset clause. And we always intended at the end of the sunset clause to make a decision on whether to allow the businesses or to continue to opt out. And with the research that we did and also the input that we did, we had a lot of individuals come to city council to talk at the time, and we also did some online surveying, and it seemed like that the public was in favor of having the businesses. So we did take a lot of time to develop our ordinances, and we had also had it as part of our strategic planning session where we presented the ordinances as we had developed them so the public could see that and provide additional input, as well as city council and others. And it was a long process, but I think we did develop a good ordinance and a good process. And I think it's important that we have Clerk Santos and John Stemple on the call, because they're the ones that deal with it every day with the licensing and the inspections and the planning and zoning.
And we'll get to that, but let me ask you one more question, because as we all know, it's still considered an illegal drug under federal law, but states all over the country have legalized it. Cities all over Michigan have legalized it. Was there any consideration given to the federal law, or are we at a point now where, in terms of the federal law, it's unenforceable?
Well, we don't run the federal law enforcement agency, so we really can't speak to how they enforce things, but we are working within the framework of the state of Michigan laws that do allow these facilities. And, there are regulations, and of course, all those are set forth by the state law. With regard to federal regulations, I think that's important for the businesses to know some of those issues and to think about that when they're forming their businesses. But from our enforcement standpoint, we are really just looking at the state law.
All right, Janet and John, let's talk about the nitty-gritty here. First of all, is there a limit as to how many business licenses are going to be issued under this regulation?
Yeah, the ordinance doesn't necessarily put a number limit on it, but our ordinance does have buffering requirements, require them to be separated from one another. They can't be closer than 500 feet together there. And there are other considerations such as schools and other sensitive uses that we wanted to keep them separated from. So the buffering is actually what will limit the number of facilities depending on where they initially locate.
No sense of how many you're liable to have, though?
Currently, we have 16 that are in process, with more questions and inquiries coming every day.
So, Janet, let's talk about that process a little bit. If somebody wants to start a recreational marijuana business in the city of Saginaw, what do they have to do?
First of all, it's this decision of the developer of the ordinance, naturally. So it's their decision if they want to submit their site plan materials and documents for planning commission review and go that route first, or they can just come in and submit their application for the adult use establishment. So it's their choice. John said he had 16 that are going through the process of a planning commission, and I actually have 11 applications that have been submitted to my office for licensing consideration.
Now, those 11 that you have, they will eventually have to go through the planning commission, won't they?
Of the 11 that I have they have to meet all the requirements, yes. What route they want to go through first?
What if an established business wants to add marijuana to their inventory? Is the process different for them if they're already a retail establishment?
I believe it's not. They'd have to still meet all the requirements within our ordinances, the zoning ordinance and the licensing ordinance.
Or would they have to go through the planning commission again to get approval?
Yes, I believe so. I'll let John cover that one.
Yes, every marijuana use, whether it's a grower, transporter, testing facility, or a retail establishment, was set up to ensure that we were inclusive and people were notified and had an opportunity to voice their opinion on each specific location. The Planning Commission is charged with reviewing what's called a special land use permit, which generates a public hearing, and it also generates notice to all property owners within 300 feet of the proposed location. So every one of those uses does have to go before the Planning Commission, and if there are changes to originally approved, they would also have to go back for those approval of those.
How soon would you anticipate the first one opens up?
It's hard to say. It depends on the abilities of the developer. Obviously, some folks have more resources than others and can move faster in completing construction and/or building repairs, parking lots, and the like. It just depends on who gets out the gate first and can move the quickest. If I had to, I would suspect by early fall, the first one would be out.
All right, folks, hang on. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll come back and do one more segment. We're talking to City Manager Tim Morales, the City Clerk Janet Santos, and John Stemple, who does lots of code enforcement. We will be back with them in the city of Saginaw in just a couple of moments here on the Art Lewis Show.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Spring break is around the corner. Summer clothes and grabbing that swimsuit. But Associates in Eye Care wants you to remember to pack those sunglasses too. Most of us acquire nearly 80% of our lifetime UV exposure before the age of 18. So it's extremely important for children to have sunglasses with UV protection. Ultraviolet rays have harmful effects on the eyes that can lead to cataracts. We're older. So make an appointment with Dr. Cox or Dr. Kazmarek at their Saginaw or Hemlock location. Call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the...
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher. The consumer price index rose slightly last month, up 0.4%, but without food and energy costs, the increase was over the past year ending in February. Prices were up 1.7%. General Electric shares are higher with confirmation that it is selling off majority ownership of its aircraft leasing business to a competitor, AerCap. ConAgra is in talks to sell its Hebrew National Hot Dog brand to meat company JBS. Tesla says its Shanghai factory was not hacked this week. The supplier's production site in China was hacked. Tesla shares have been getting a boost from news that sales have improved in China. And online video game company Roblox is going public today. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis, weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
Hey, I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer. I'm David Van Camp, the Dang Millennium. And I'm Scott Robbins, the Boomer. Hey, Boomer. This show, and we're going live noon to 3 weekdays on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. We talk about what's going on in the world, and of course we make a lot of fun of it. 3 generations coming together to make sense of it all. And give Robin a hard time. Gosh dang it! The Markley, Van Camp, and Robin show is going live weekdays noon to 3 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. We're talking to Saginaw City Manager Tim Morales, the City Clerk Janice Santos, and John Stemple from Code Enforcement. We appreciate their being with us this morning, talking about marijuana and recreational marijuana retail facilities opening up in the city of Saginaw. Tim, let me ask you, because you're a numbers guy and you've been with it a long time, what do you expect the economic impact of all this to be on the city of Saginaw?
Well, that's kind of the question mark, and I don't know that it's going to have a huge impact. Right now, we saw the first sort of revenue sharing type numbers coming out, and for local units that currently have marijuana facilities, retail facilities, and you are get a portion of that revenue based upon how many you have. So I would say a lot of communities are getting anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000 in that revenue sharing. To keep in mind that our general fund is about $35 million, so a significant impact on our revenue. We'd have to look at, the number of facilities we have would obviously increase that number. There are cities across the state that have a higher number of facilities, and they may be in the $200,000 range of revenue. And then in Saginaw, of course, we have income tax, so it will all depend on the number of employees that these facilities have and how much they're paying, and that could generate some additional income tax revenue as well.
How much of it is
right now?
How much of it is inside and how much of it is outside the tax cap you have to live under?
All of the income tax would be out, and the revenue sharing from the state from marijuana facilities is outside the tax cap as well. The tax cap would only pertain to property taxes.
So you could see some additional income, and the city.
That's correct.
City's always looking for that.
Yep, that's correct, Art.
How's the financial health of the city right now?
We're in pretty good shape, and that goes back to I think our strong financial performances over the past few years. We were able to build up a good fund balance, and we didn't plug any holes with our fund balance. That money is there for a rainy day, and as we see things like the COVID-19, that's why you build up that fund balance. Beyond that, I think we're having businesses return, and that's a good thing for us. We're looking at our income tax. We're estimating a loss of $1 to $3 million from the pandemic, and of course that's just an estimate. It could be less than that. I think that worst case scenario is high. And that's why it's called the worst case scenario. But I think we'll be able to weather that as long as we get people back to work and get the businesses back open like it looks like we're doing.
John, let me ask you about the COVID-19 and its impact on the city. Have you seen a lot of abandoned properties?
Really related to the COVID-19 issues. Actually, in fact, because things were so restricted, evictions were suspended for a long time. So it's pretty much holding its own right now. We haven't seen a big increase in abandoned vacant buildings really at all.
And in terms of the clerk's office, much of an impact, Janet?
No, actually, we're holding our own as well, and keep moving forward daily, helping all the city's residents.
All right, so let's. I want to remind everybody, anyone who has an interest in retail adult marijuana, recreational marijuana in the city of Saginaw, what's the process they should follow? Where should they go first? Janet?
Well, it is easier for voters to go through the Planning Commission first. It helps them to have their application complete and to be ahead of the game. Although they have the option to submit their application first, it's up to them. But that's the recommendation that we would suggest, just so that they have a complete application once it comes to my review and processing.
And John, what's your role in all of this once it goes through the Planning Commission?
So the developer is required to submit site plans as well as security plans, a number of things that the Planning Commission considers. Once they get the approval for that special land use permit, they can develop their construction drawings, submit for permits, complete their construction work, and our staff would inspect all that work to ensure they've complied with all of the various codes and ordinances that.
And Tim, from your perspective, all this is a good thing?
Well, I think the process that we've set up is a good process, and I think with John Stemper working with the Planning Commission, I think we're going about it the right way, and I think we have initially from the time we started, and we took the right time to think about it and to put together our ordinance in a good way and to put together our processes. So I think that the city's gone about it in just about the best way that we could, given the fact that was a demand by the public and the citizens of the city to have the facilities. I think we did go about it in a positive and good manner, and Janet Santos, her office, and John, his staff, and the planning department and the Planning Commission, I think, have done a good job in dealing with this. It's all new, so we always ask the developers to bear with us. different things are going to come up, but I think they've done a really good job with reacting to this and dealing with a change and just a new process and a new business in the city. It's new for everyone, and it takes a lot to get these things going.
Well, so I want to thank all of you for taking some time out to be with us this morning. Tim, as always, a pleasure. Thank you. Janet,
thank you for having us, Art.
You're welcome. Janet and John, thank you both too. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Art.
You bet. Have a great day, all of you. Thanks for joining us.
You too.
Bye-bye now. Tim Morales, City Manager, City of Saginaw. Janet Santos, the City Clerk. And John Stemple with Scenic. He's the Code Enforcement Officer of the City of Saginaw. We thank them all for their time this morning. Marijuana is certainly here to stay. There's no two ways about it. We've a number of years ago turned a corner on that when it became legal in the state of Michigan, and then all the communities had the ability to opt in and opt out. And I do have to admit, I think Saginaw handled it the right way. They chose to opt out until they had time to study it and get the reaction of the public and get input, and then went from there. So hats off to them. I thought they did a good job in deciding whether or not to allow recreational marijuana in the city of Saginaw as a business. All right, we're going to take some time out here, and when we return, we'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour, right up through 11 o'clock. So if there's anything you'd like to chat about, that or elsewhere, or anything else, and give us a call, 752-6111. Inside the state of Michigan, 866-790 WSGW. Outside the state of Michigan, 989-752-6111. And we'll be back to chat with you about that and a number of other things here on the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do. And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
It's that time of the year you've been waiting for. Spicer's huge boat show and sale. Browse tons of the best mercury-powered pontoons, speedboats, and fishing boats safely in the comfort of our 2 heated showrooms. Our COVID standards are in place so you can be worry-free while you shop our huge selection. Comfortably take in the feeling of being on the water this summer with must-see boats, powered by incredible Mercury and Mercruiser motors, like this Sylvan L3 bar pontoon with a large lounge that converts to a bar with bar stools, or a hot Mercury-powered Lund fishing boat loaded with live well, fish finder, and even a trolling motor. Just add the tackle. Of course, we have the hot-selling Sea-Doo Spark, but not to be outdone, we have added Yamaha Wave Runners as well. Tubing, wakeboarding, fishing, cruising, we have a boat that fits. Spicer's Boat Show and Sale going on right now at Michigan's Destination Fun, Spicer's Boat City, M55 and Houghton Lake.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Moorbark is now hiring welders, machine operators, and other skilled training. No problem. Apply for Moorbark's welder training program and earn while you learn. For more details on this position, other local companies that are hiring, and how to apply, go to MidMichiganWork.com. That's MidMichiganWork.com.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? They're here, but you can do more than wait for your turn. Here's how. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them too. And masks? Well, they protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them. Wear a mask, watch your distance, and make a big difference now.
Learn more about vaccines at Coronavirus, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Since Election Day, more than 5 million people have downloaded the Newsmax TV app on their smartphone. It's free, and you can watch Newsmax right away. Newsmax is on all major cable systems, smart TVs, Roku, YouTube, Zumo, and Pluto. So go to Newsmax.com for the latest news and get the Newsmax TV app to watch Sebastian Gorka, Dick Morris, Greg Kelly, Diamond and Silk, Michelle Malkin, and Mike Huckabee. Everyone is talking about Newsmax, so download the free app now.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
Class, let's bump it up to 9!
Come on, Limu, keep pedaling. We got to build our endurance to let more people know that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Pick up the pace, bird legs!
Hey, don't talk to Limu like that.
I'm not, I'm talking to you!
Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW, and back to our phones. Larkin Township is where we find Andrew this morning. Andrew, good morning to you. Morning, Andrew. Andrew, are you there? I heard the click, but I don't hear Andrew. Andrew? Okay, I guess Andrew is not
Can you
there.
hear me?
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Okay, my phone was on mute.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm wondering, as someone who's had a lot of experience in radio, if you have any tips from someone like me who's interested in going into a business like that.
Going into radio, you mean?
Yeah, or a podcast or whatever.
Well, I'm going to. Boy, that's a tough question to answer. I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I feel about it, but they're not necessarily universal. They don't apply to everybody. First of all, I think in order to be successful in radio, you have to understand there are multiple facets of radio. There's the on-air side, the programming side, as we'll call it, and there's the business side, the sales side and business administration, typical things you find in any business. So the first thing you have to decide is which part of it are you interested in. I will tell you, if you're interested in the on-air side, it is not an easy road to hoe. You better have a passion for it, and you better be willing to take less money, particularly in the early years, to learn the business. You can go to school for radio. You can go to school for broadcasting. There are broadcasting schools. There are college courses. None of them prepare you totally for the real world. They'll give you the technical side of it. They don't necessarily give you the reality side of it. I would suggest that if you have a real passion for it and you really have an interest in broadcasting, you find out if there are intern positions available, for example, where you might be able to intern at a broadcasting facility to find out what it's really like, not just what you hear on the air, but what it's really like behind the scenes, and see if it still holds your interest. If it does, then you can pursue it through education and through internship and things of that nature.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually starting out something like that. Northwood University has a podcast center, and
sure,
I'm starting out working over there, and actually might be hopping on a podcast as a co-host not too long from now.
Well, let me tell you, that's the wave of. In some ways, that's certainly part of the wave of the future. Podcasts are a growing industry, and they're also, in a way, it's in some ways it's reversed, because many people look at broadcasting as the foot in the door to podcasting because it's a natural transition. But there's nothing to say you couldn't be a podcaster and then find your way into over-the-air broadcasting.
Right. And actually that is what I wanted to mainly ask you about. Like, how difficult would you say it is to get a show on a radio station? Like, say our show became successful, but we really don't get a lot of listeners because they don't know which website to go to listen to us. they'd rather just turn on the radio and listen.
Well, what
but
you're
there
going
are no radio stations that would probably hold our show right away.
Yeah, but let's look at the reality here. The reality is podcasting grows by word of mouth. Once people listen to you, they tell somebody else, they tell somebody else. That's how podcasting grows, and they have grown tremendously over the past couple of years, enormously. So don't discount the fact that you might get a lot of listeners on your podcast. There are many podcasts out there that have enough listeners that they can actually sell time on their podcasts and make money with it. In terms of availability in radio, it is realistically extremely limited. There are more and more national syndicated shows occupying local time because it's more efficient for the local broadcasters. There are not too many stations like WSGW around anymore, where we have significant local programming mixed in with national programming and where we have a news department. You don't find too many of us anymore, very few. So the opportunities in radio are probably significantly more limited than they are in podcasting, because podcasting, you don't require to be hired. All you need is a podcasting studio and a computer, and you have a podcast. It's that simple. And you can set up your own podcast, and if your podcast is good content and people want to hear it, you will grow.
Okay.
So
well, thank you
I
very
would
much.
not hesitate putting my eggs in the podcast basket. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I
Hey.
appreciate that, Mr.
Well, you
Lewis.
let us know how you do. I'm curious now.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Bye-bye now. Al is in Midland. We'll talk to him before we take a break here. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. I want to wish Andrew some good luck.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people doing that. There's a Bay City group that does a podcast that I listen to occasionally. I won't mention them because they're a little off on the deep end.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of those.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those out there.
And they do have a lot of listeners. So your content is very important.
Content's everything.
That's what draws your audience.
Yep.
Bill Hobson's a good example, too.
Sure.
Hey, I wanted to thank you and the station for Tom Sullivan coming back.
Oh, you're welcome.
Really missed not having him. He's a great guy. He may not be top of the line, but, man, I think he's a great guy to listen to. He's kind of even-keeled and does a wonderful job of it.
Top of the line in my book because we think alike.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy to listen to.
Well, Tom's going to be with me Monday morning, and let me get my calendar up here to make sure I give you the right time. I think it's 10 o'clock, but I want to double check anyway. Just a minute here. Let me come on, computer, do your thing. Da-da. Okay, I have Tom Sullivan with me Monday morning at 10 o'clock for the hour, and we'll take phone calls. So anybody who wants to chat with Tom will be able to do that.
Yeah, I'll be listening.
And of course, he's going to be on from 7 to 10 in the evening, but his live time, 3 to 6, you will be able to call and chat with him.
Sure.
But we'll talk to him more about that on Monday.
Sure. Hey, you guys are talking about the germs and the germaphobe sanitizer container right here. I walk past occasionally and pump it, and it's less than a third full. It was full when I started several months ago, so I've been pumping that thing. I don't know if I'm quite as bad as Pat, but I'm a little bit of a germaphobe myself, and I have a couple other disorders, obsessive compulsive, where I can make sure the locks are locked and the right switch.
You know what?
Yeah,
that's interesting. I never looked at it that way. But I must have OCD because every night before I go to bed, even if I know I've done it, I go back and check the door lock. It's a habit.
Yeah, but how many times?
Oh, a couple. More than once sometimes.
Okay, yeah. I got the same issue. So
all right, if you find a doctor to cure you, let me know.
I got to go back and I got to check. Well, did I go back out and did I unlock it?
Yep.
So,
I understand.
Oh, it's. I think we all have a little bit of that, but that's okay.
I think so too.
It's a safe compulsive disorder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not harmful.
Right. Doesn't harm me, doesn't harm anybody,
Yeah.
doesn't interfere with
Sure.
anybody, but I want to make sure that lock is locked.
Sure. Hey,
All
have
right.
a good morning, sir.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Take care, Al.
Bye now.
Bye now. All right. Sometimes you think you're the only one with those things, and you're not. Anyway, we'll take a break, and we'll be back with more lines open for you.
Spring break is around the corner, and you may be pulling out those summer clothes and grabbing that swimsuit. But Associates in Eye Care wants you to remember to pack those sunglasses, too. Most of us acquire nearly 80% of our lifetime UV exposure before the age of 18. So it's extremely important for children to have sunglasses with UV protection. Ultraviolet rays have harmful effects on the eyes that can lead to cataracts and macular degeneration when we're older. So make an appointment with Dr. Cox or Dr. Kazmarek at their call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. For a limited time, you can get a queen-size premium MyPillow for the lowest price ever. Regularly $69.98, now only $29.98. I'm also going to give you deep discounts on all my MyPillow products.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listeners square and use promo code SKY, SKY, for this amazing special. 635-1825 and use promo code SKY.
Service. It's hard to find these days. Well, the folks at M&R Garage Door have built their business on it. In fact, it's fair to say that service is their specialty. M&R Garage Door has earned the right to say that by taking care of their customers in the Tri-Cities for over 50 years. M&R can repair any brand garage door or opener, including all residential and industrial doors. Call M&R Garage Door for all of your service needs. M&R has garage doors and openers for every style and every budget. Call M&R Garage Door at 894-0971. 894-0971 for all of your garage door and opener needs. Remember, at M&R Garage Door, service is our specialty.
This is Michigan Corn Connection, and today I'm talking with Christy Moore, who's the Moore Consulting, where she works to make renewable fuels the replacement for fossil fuels.
Ethanol is used in 71 countries around the world, but that leaves numerous countries without the benefits of ethanol, which are really at today's value, clean octane, reducing gasoline toxics, and providing additional fuel supply. Ethanol exports have reached almost 10% of the total ethanol volume produced in the U.S. in 2019. We believe gasoline demand is back, and we think 2021 can be put on a trajectory for that a large amount of ethanol exports can bring these positive news and take up much of this corn utilization. Midwest farmers have a huge stake in ethanol exports. 7 gallons of ethanol are produced to the acre here in Michigan, and that statistic holds true for many Midwest states.
This is Michigan Corn Connection. Find out more at micorn.org.
Hello, WSGW. Tom Sullivan here. I'm back on WSGW starting Monday, March 15th from 7 to 10 p.m. Plan on calling me in the afternoons between 3 and 6, then listen for our conversations at night. WSGW.
And welcome back here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Nice to have you with us today. Just a reminder again, Tom Sullivan, you heard the promo, you heard Tom just now stating he'll be back with us beginning Monday, 7 to 10. His live time is 3 to 6. You will be able to call in, and then you can listen in the evening and hear your conversation with Tom Sullivan right here on WSGW. He's a neat individual because, I really think so, because he views a lot of things as I view them, more from the middle, looking at it from a common sense standpoint rather than through political classes. I think we probably share some political thought in many ways, but again, I tend not to judge things through political eyes. I just have done that and never will do that. I would love to see a third party in this country that I would call the common sense party, but I doubt very much if that'll ever happen. It's unfortunate, but I don't think it's going to happen. If I were a lot younger than I am right now, maybe 30 years ago, I might have considered, fronting such a cause and motivating people to join and seeing what you could do. But I have to admit, as much as I love talking about politics, I have never had a fire in my belly to become a politician. Never. I once heard a speech given by the late Walter Cronkite, and he had been asked about politics because at the time he was probably one of the most respected men in America, always on top of that list, and it was suggested that he should run for president. And he always separated out what he did for a living as a journalist from being a politician, and said that because of that, he would never, ever consider running for political office. And I remembered that, and it stuck with me. I mean, it was the way I felt anyway, but it kind of reinforced my thinking that I don't think there's a good crossover from being what I do for a living into politics. And you really do have to have a fire in your belly for it. Now, that fire in your belly can be for a number of reasons. People go into politics for a number of different reasons. You often hear the number one reason is they want to help people. They want to help their community. They want to do what's right for their constituents. And fine, that's an excellent reason. That's a good reason. Others go into it because they're power hungry. No, that's the way it is. So I have never had a passion for either of those. I believe I can help my community in other ways, which I do. I've been on many, many, many boards of directors over the years, serve on many nonprofits that help the community. So that's the way I look at helping my community. My father taught me many, many years ago, not just to live in a community, but to be a part of a community. And you do that by participating. You do that by joining boards of directors. Other people might do it by running for a city council or running for a political office. And that's fine. There are many, many ways to help a community. Many ways to help a community. Many ways to help organizations. You can do it with your time. You can do it with your treasure. You can do it with both. But that's the way I've chosen to do it. I was once asked to run for Congress many years ago. And I've told this story before. The person who called and suggested it said all the wrong things to get me to run for office. First of all, I wouldn't have done it no matter what he said. But the thing he said that really just, raised the hairs on the back of my neck was he said, "Art, we can raise a lot of money on your name." And I went, "Oh, no, you just said the wrong thing." And is that a reason to run for office? No, of course it's not. You run for office because you really think you can make a difference, because you really think you can help people, and because you have a passion for it. If you don't have those things, don't waste your time. Really don't waste your time. I'll give you an example. Now, I have no use for her politics whatsoever, but AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, out of New York, while I have no use for her politics and never in a million years would I vote for her, I admire her for doing what she did because she had a passion. She saw what she believes to be a need as she sees things, and she ran for office. She ran for all the right reasons. Now, again, I don't agree with her politics, never will, but I admire the fact that she had the gumption to run against a well-established political figure and beat him. And that's what politics should be. People like that on both sides or in the middle should run for office because they really believe they can make a difference. All right, we're going to take our last break, be back, and we will close out after these notes.
Spectrum Mobile is the fastest growing mobile provider in the nation. It's easy to see why millions have chosen a better way to mobile. With Spectrum Mobile, there are no contracts and no added fees. Even nationwide 5G is included at no extra cost. Switch today and you could save big. Grab your current mobile bill and use the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator to see how much you can save. Go to spectrummobile.com/saving today. Spectrum Internet required based on Q2 2020 subscriber data. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Hi, it's Steve. Commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars, and they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went, and guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain. Join Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar and lose the weight. $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Because of coronavirus, the seminar is now online, live Thursday, March 18th or Saturday, March 20th for the Saginaw area. Details at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. It's identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right. Free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
From the Stone Specialist Studio. USG.
All right, we're back with you just for a few seconds here. News coming up at the top of the hour. Then we'll be back with Focus. We'll focus on Pinnacle Realty. Talk to Linda Shepard. When we return, talk to you then.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kaif, and there's action in the House ahead of a vote today on President Biden's $1 billion COVID relief bill. It's got broad Democratic support. Barbara Lee of California.
We have struggled through a year of gross neglect. People have suffered, they've died, they've lost their jobs and businesses. Families are living on the edge. But today, thank God, help is on the way.
But California's Tom McClintock and other Republicans stand against it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, there's one thing that all sides can agree on. This is the most left-wing bill ever passed by the Congress.
White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy tells us about a new COVID vaccine deal.
At this point, the White House isn't providing any details on when officials expect delivery of the additional shots. But the headline is the government is buying 100 Johnson & Johnson vaccine. When added to previously purchased J&J, Pfizer, and Moderna shots, it appears there will eventually be more supply on hand than the nation needs. The key question, how soon the country will be fully vaccinated, is still unanswered.
Anyone who lives or works in Alaska and is over 16 years old can now get a COVID vaccine. The CDC says Alaska's vaccination rate is among the nation's highest. It's the first state to lift adult age restrictions. In Los Angeles, CBS's Carter Evans says there's a deal to get schools reopened again.
Teachers still have to vote to approve this deal, but if it passes, school staff will still have weeks to get elementary students will return mid-April, everyone else by the end of April. But some LA parents say it's too late. After a year attempting distance learning, the damage is done.
Well, legal action is next after another state's anti-abortion move. CBS's Jim Crisula.
The sponsor of a new law banning nearly all abortions in Arkansas says it's intended to get the U.S. Supreme Court to review the landmark ruling legalizing abortion.
This is essentially a demand letter
to SCOTUS from the Arkansas legislature.
Gloria Pedro is with Planned Parenthood in Arkansas.
If this ban was allowed to take effect, it would endanger women's health.
The Arkansas abortion law exceptions for rape or incest.
Meghan Markle has filed a formal complaint with the British broadcaster ITV after blistering criticism of her from morning host Piers Morgan, who yesterday stormed off the set and quit. Today, defiance from the former host.
They think that they've cancelled me. I think they'll be rather disappointed when I re-emerge.
Buckingham Palace said yesterday it would deal with Meghan's accusations privately. Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 362 points. The NASDAQ is ahead 32 points. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Come on, come in, let the fun begin.
At MichiganLottery.com, the one place you'll find exclusive games like Queen of Diamonds and Michigan Cash Draw, plus Powerball and Mega Millions that can reach $1 billion. Cash out online or at your favorite store. And all proceeds support Michigan schools and businesses. Get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, plus free games. Sign up with promo code RADIO. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
So play on, Michigan, because we own it.
Hi, I'm Tom Conn. Hypnosis seminar, February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife, Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day, and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Stop smoking. Lose weight now without cravings, irritability, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Join Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar and lose the weight or stop smoking for only $49.99 guaranteed, or your money back. Because of the coronavirus, the seminar is now online live Thursday, March 18th or Saturday, March 20th for the Saginaw area. Details at markpatrickseminars.com. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
I'm Appliance Center. I need your help. Truckloads of appliances are showing up at my store, and my warehouse is filling up fast. So how can you help? See me today. I'll show you deals on new laundry, cooking, and refrigeration that you can't beat anywhere else. Brand names like GE, Frigidaire, Speed Queen, and many, many more. New, scratch and dent, and pre-orders, I have it all. But remember, some models are limited. Cranes L&M Appliance Center, 3260 Bay Road, Saginaw. We sell the best to fit every budget, from new to reconditioned and scratch and dent. Check out our inventory at craneslnm.com. At Cranes L&M, we work with you.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 58 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. 1 year of COVID response in Michigan, and many restaurants are still finding the going tough. Tony Village is co-owner of 5 family-owned and operated Metro Detroit restaurants, including Chow Italian Grill in West Bloomfield. He doesn't think a vaccine card mandate will be enacted.
The cost-benefit analysis would be so much. It would be so burdensome on the restaurateur. I mean, you look at it, to take names is difficult. Who's in your restaurant for contact tracing? Now to sit there in a family diner or a restaurant where the average meal costs $20, you're going to need a separate employee to check the cards.
Michigan restaurants and bars are limited to 50% capacity right now, with a maximum of 100 people and 11 p.m. curfew until at least April 19th. Michiganders 50 and older with pre-existing conditions are now able to start signing up to receive their dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Michigan's Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist says statewide supply is the reason vaccine eligibility is expanded, with 3 different vaccines now being brought into the state. Michigan just received 4 of the COVID-19 vaccines, the largest weekly shipment so far in the state. Come March 22nd, eligibility will expand to anyone 50 or older. A Saginaw County man was recently arrested on animal cruelty charges. Police say over the course of several months, 60-year-old Daniel Montrell Jr. of Buena Vista Township brought a number of puppies to the Saginaw County Animal Care and Control Center. Each of the puppies suffered severe injuries, which officials say were consistent with dog attacks. After Montreal brought a third puppy in for treatment, police began an investigation. They found more injured puppies living in what is described as deplorable conditions. Buena Vista Township Police found 7 puppies and 3 adult dogs in all, and believe a male adult dog was responsible for the attacks on the puppies. Montreal is charged with animal cruelty of 10 dogs. A preliminary hearing is pending. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. In addition to recent calls from other counties, that is, Huron County officials are asking people to stay off any remaining ice as outdoor temperatures rise. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
Huron County Central Dispatch received 2 emergency calls about people breaking through the ice, the first coming in roughly after 4:30 p.m. yesterday near the Geiger Road Public Access in Fairhaven Township. Fortunately, responders were able to hear the screams of the man who had fallen through, eventually locating him and pulling him out. A second incident was phoned in nearly 10 minutes later off of Bayshore Camp in Sebowing Township. Huron County Sheriff Kelly Hansen says both incidents could have simply been avoided by staying off of the ice, and while both incidents luckily had good outcomes, they both put a lot of emergency assets in motion, putting others in harm's way. The Sheriff's Department asks everyone to please stay off the ice regardless of how thick or how safe you may think it is, or how seasoned you may feel you are for ice fishing in this time of year. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Although Michigan's auto reform law went into effect last summer, many drivers still have questions about it. John Hewitt has this report.
That's due in part to many drivers who were still under existing insurance policies when the new law went into effect last July. Some even canceled coverage on vehicles due to the pandemic. And while most know people can now opt out of buying personal injury protection, there are lesser known nuances to the new law, like the elimination of penalties for those who have gone without insurance coverage.
Insurers cannot limit coverage, charge a reinstatement fee, or increase the premium for an eligible driver solely as long as the driver applies for insurance before this amnesty period ends. And it does end January 1st of 2022.
That's Zachary Dillinger with the State Department of Insurance and Financial Services, known as DIFS, which continues to hold online town halls on the topic of auto insurance reform in Michigan.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few spotty rain showers at times here for today, with partial sunshine developing and a high into the mid-60s. Winds out of the south per hour, gusting as high as 35. And for tonight, a slight chance for rain showers here late, mostly cloudy and a low near 56. By Thursday, a chance for rain showers, partial sunshine develops, high around 62 degrees. Then by Friday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 49. Saturday, mostly sunny, high around 42, and Sunday, sunshine, a high of 42. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 54.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture. Activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. Monday was International Women's Day, and we celebrate women and women in business. And if I were going to hold up a woman as a prime example of how women conduct themselves in business successfully, it would be my guest today. She owns Pinnacle Realty, and we say good morning to Linda Shepard. Linda, good morning to you.
How are you?
I am fine. Hope you are too. I have to go ahead.
No, it's a beautiful day. How can you be bad on a March day like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have to ask this before we get into some of the nitty gritty of the real estate business. What got you into it?
It's something I always wanted to do. I owned a vending machine company, and I always liked real estate and properties, and my kids were getting older, and I was looking for something to do. And I love realty. I loved it before I was in it, and now, man, this is the best.
You've always been an entrepreneur, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you love it. I've known her a while, folks. I know she loves it. So let's talk about the real estate business. Are there enough homes to go around right now?
No, there is not. In the last 7 days, we've only had 12 listings. I mean, we are so down on listings. We have 5 every house that we list. And I feel bad because it's such a bidding war. People are having to go over the asking price. It's a tough market. Sellers, if you're thinking of selling, call me today. I'll sell it tonight. But buyers, it's really tough for them right now. I've got a gentleman that's put in 4 different bids and we've lost out.
Wow.
Because we just can't. Yeah, it is a very tough market for buyers. Not that there's not going to be more inventory coming on because it is spring. But right now it's been a pretty tough winter.
I have to ask, I mean, if homes are going for above the asking price, are banks willing to finance to that level? Because it all is based on appraisal, isn't it?
Yeah, and the appraisers are coming in at those prices. I mean, the market all over the state of Michigan is up. So it's just not our little area. It is the whole state. So the market is up.
So it's not just an inflated value, it's an appraised value that's also gone up.
Exactly. It's an appraised value that's gone up. And interest rates have been very good. I mean, they're sitting today 30-year fixed. You can get 2.65 on a 15-year mortgage. So, you want to buy because you're still getting those great rates.
And what about the requirements for the buyer, credit requirements, for example? Have they lessened at all?
No, they're still at the 640 2-year pay stub. But there is a new program that they just came down with this month. The Michigan State Housing came out to MISHDA or down payment assistance program. That's really exciting. And I wish everybody who you've been thinking about buying, but they might not have that down payment, call me today because I can go over all these areas that they can purchase in. What are the requirements? It is a fantastic program.
That's the advantage of a real estate agent. You have all the information.
Yes, we know where to go, who to talk to. We have a plethora of people that we ask questions. I mean, from plumbers to mortgage people to title people. That's why. This is our job to make sure you get the best deal and you are comfortable with your purchase. And 5 years down the road, you're still happy.
I have to ask a question, though, because I always thought that it would be wise, because of the amount of money you're spending, to also have a legal counsel in your corner. What do you think?
I don't. If you're buying commercial property, probably buying a single family home, this is what we've been trained on. I mean, we have the code of ethics as real estate agents to take care of our clients. We've done the homework. All our forms that we use are okayed through the state of Michigan lawyers. So I don't think it's necessary. Now, if you're selling and you have an estate where you might need some understanding that estate, that's where I think lawyers come into this. But we are trained to handle everything that comes up in the transaction.
All right, hang on. I got to take a break, and we will be back. We're talking to Linda Shepard from Pinnacle Realty. More ahead on the Focus program here on WSGW.
Think about it. We could be skiing.
Or we could be warmer.
We could be on a beach.
Or we could get to, so what's it matter?
Well, that means we do have some money to spend. Want to upgrade our countertops?
And not have any neat vacation pictures to post for everyone?
Are you kidding? With the granite and quartz countertops I'm picturing from Stone Specialists, we'll want to show it off.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
But a stone countertop? That's forever.
I like the...
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. From imagination to installation, they'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists. Now available by appointment to serve you better with 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
I'm elder law attorney Carol Thomas. Our Saginaw seminars are coming up in the March 24th at the Horizons Conference Center. I have seminars at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, and they always fill to capacity. These have been very difficult times for everyone, but I'm finding that more than ever, people want to come to my seminars. So unfortunately, we have to have less attendance because we honor social distancing. But the people that have come to my seminars since this all began are very grateful to hear the information. If you don't know what you don't know, there's a chance you could lose everything if you or a loved one need nursing home care. At the seminar, we talk about wills and trusts and how it all fits together. If you've ever wondered about, should I go to one of Carol's seminars, I would say I highly recommend it. I have o'clock and 5 o'clock. They're in Saginaw at the Horizons Conference Center. The seminars that we've had since this began have filled up to capacity. So if you are interested, please call my office at 793-2300.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations. Radio.com app.
Hey, it's Markley Van Camp and Robbins. Starting on the 15th, we're going live noon to 3 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. We try to make sense of it all and have some fun at the same time. And give Robbins a hard time. Hey, shut up, man. Okay, Boomer.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on Focus. We're talking to Linda Shepard from Pinnacle Realty about the real estate business today. A seller's market, and doesn't look like that's going to change anytime in the near future, does it?
Going to be here for a little bit longer. I think at least the rest of the year.
Is that, are you better off with a balanced market, or is it okay to have a one-sided market like this?
Well, I'd like a balanced market. It would make my life easier. Having to get your deals for your buyers, it would be nice to be a little more balanced. But for sellers, 5 years ago, it was a buyer's market. Things were listed for 90 days to 180 days, and poor sellers would sit there and they'd do everything they could, paint, carpet, to get their house sold. Now, we're walking in and saying, hey, move that couch, we're good to list it. It's just, so I guess now. So how about right after this, we could just balance. Nice balanced market would be good.
That's a very interesting comment about paint and all of that stuff. Because it's a seller's market, does that mean the seller now doesn't have to do quite as much to get their house ready for sale?
Not as much. We still are recommending a nice coat of fresh paint, make it nice. You're still wanting to have your yard picked up and everything that we would usually do, but putting in that $10,000 kitchen to hopefully get a $20,000 return on price, it's just not happening.
Yeah, you're probably going to get that return anyway without the kitchen, right? In this day and age.
The house, I know that flooded, was gutted, and it's still sold. It's a crazy market. Yeah, and you're getting top dollar in Saginaw City, Township. It's nice. It's good for sellers.
Let's talk about Pinnacle Realty. Where are you located?
We're on the corner of Gratiot and Midland Road. We bought the old ISD building that everybody knows, the big A-frame. I bought it 3 years ago. Of course, last year we had an indoor pool put in, but we got rid of that in about a month. So, yeah, it was pretty tough. And I wanted to announce today that we have had CrossFit Whip move in, Hair Therapies moved in here, Kinwell, Upright Construction, of course, Pinnacle's here, Summit Title is here, but our newest member of the family is Cafe 476. And this is my little project because as you know, I lost Sanford Lake Marina last year, so that was my new project, but that's on hold now for a few years. So I have to do something. So we are opening up a coffee shop. We're going to have espressos, smoothies with yogurt, bubble tea, teas, and we're working local that everybody knows to have their baked goods in here too. And the most exciting.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, the most exciting to me is that 10% off of all profits will be going to a local charity, Saginaw. So you can come in. I'll have 3 charities up on the wall. Local money stays here. You'll be able to say, yep, I want my profit.
And
number 2 or number 3.
When is the cafe going to be open, or is it?
It is. I'm looking to open it May 19th to the public and have our big grand opening because, as everybody knows, May 19th was flood last year, and I need something happy on that day.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Linda and your daughter, wasn't it, bought a marina at Sanford just before the flood. Just before the
I closed December 10th. Yep. And I was cleared by the department that morning of the 19th, and by 7 o'clock that night, everything was gone.
Yeah.
So
now you still have the property. If the lake comes back, you'll go back and rebuild.
Oh yeah,
I figured.
Yep. In fact, I'm having my little cottage up there rebuilt right now, and I am so when I'm not doing other stuff, I'm daydreaming about what I want the docking system to look at, and now I'm going to pull a full restaurant up in there because I'm way better than it was.
I know Linda, she can't sit still, folks. That's what it is. So Linda, we will stop in and say hi and look forward to the cafe opening. How can people get a hold of you?
Oh, just give me a call at 989-295-7713 in the house. I can set you up with a loan officer to get this Michigan Down Payment Assistance Program. We will find your house. This is what I do, and even though it's a tough market, we're still going to find you that house. So give me a call. I'm here. Love.
Linda Shepard, Pinnacle Realty. Linda, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye-bye now. All right, we're going to take our last break. Be back. We'll move ahead to what's happening in the marketplace at Baird & Company when we return.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Even with so many of us homeschooling or working from home, and your car engine's oil and other fluids are breaking down over time. Let All A's keep your vehicle running smoothly and your family safe. Schedule your oil change and fluid service with us today. Remember, All A's only fixes what we say we're going to fix. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair?
Just moved to Midland, was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over, came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
It's that time of the year you've been waiting for. Spicer's huge boat show and sale. Browse tons of the best mercury-powered pontoons, speedboats, and fishing boats safely in the comfort of our 2 heated showrooms. Our COVID you can be worry-free while you shop our huge selection. Comfortably take in the feeling of being on the water this summer with must-see boats, powered by incredible Mercury and Merc Cruiser motors. Like this Sylvan L3 bar pontoon with a large lounge that converts to a 4-person bar with bar stools, or a hot Mercury-powered Lund fishing boat, fish finder, and even a trolling motor. Just add the tackle. Of course, we have the hot-selling Sea-Doo Spark, but not to be outdone, we have added Yamaha Wave Runners as well. Tubing, wakeboarding, fishing, cruising, we have a boat that fits. Spicer's Boat Show and Sale going on right now at Michigan's Destination Fun City, M55 and Houghton Lake.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit your investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
As we continue to face COVID-19, we're now facing flu season. So, to protect us all, let's hit this virus head on. Get your flu vaccine. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
The Focus Show on WSGW. Brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. Serving you since 1959.
And that'll do it for Focus today. We thank you for being with us. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day and chat with Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning to you.
Well, and a good morning to you too.
Midweek, how we doing?
We have a very pleasant midweek hump day style thing going on here with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It is up 386 points, putting it at 32,219. Volume is 457 million shares. The Nasdaq's ahead by 75, putting it at 13,150. Volume 568 million shares. And we're today, all of the stocks that we normally report on are green. So,
I must have blinked because it wasn't too long ago we were at 30 talking about will we ever get to 31, and you just said 32.
I did indeed, yes.
It's
about all it takes is a blink because we're getting to where 400 or 500 point days.
Commonplace.
Well, pretty much because as a percentage, it's not super big, and it doesn't take many of the 1% days, 0.75% days to where we 1,000 points. So,
and your ticker tip for the day?
Well, if we're working right along that theme, which I had intended to, is we need to make certain as we're paying attention to the news and such that we get regarding the indices, we need to pay attention to what the percentage gains are, at least as much, if not more, than we do what the point gains are. Because for those of us who have been around more than a minute, 390 point day used to be like and you don't have to have been around investing super all that long to remember 390 points meant that there were many breathless announcers on at the end of the day talking about what the market's done. Now you get a 390-point day. Well, the markets were slightly up today with the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 390 points, whereas at one point it was the stock market soared today up 390 points. So pay attention to context and follow the markets, and as you follow your own personal investments, don't get overly giddy one way or the other until you've taken a look at the context of the market to see what's going on. Now, I will tell you that right now the indices are all at or very near all-time highs.
And how do they get some help
so
from you?
Far?
Yep.
So far, but that doesn't mean it's all-time highs forever.
Getting help from you, how do we do that?
Well, you call us right here at Baird & Company, where the telephone number is 790-5724, or you can look at RW Baird, that's BAIRD.com, and hunt up the Saginaw branch.
All right. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, I certainly will. You do the same.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticker tip of the day. Terry Henny's Farm Show is next after these notes.
Planning for retirement can get really complicated if you're not getting the right guidance and advice.
How do you know when you can retire? Sit down with an advisor and start the income planning process. Up until this point, you've been planning for accumulation. You've been getting ready to retire. Now it's time to focus on retirement, and you need to change that focus to income planning.
For more help like that, tune in to Simply Financial with Kevin Ray, Saturday mornings at 10 on News Radio WSGW.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. It's powerfully finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. For a limited time, you can get a queen-size premium MyPillow for the lowest price ever. Regularly $69.98, now only $29.98. I'm also going to give you deep discounts on all my MyPillow products.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, SKY, for this amazing special, or call 800-635-1825 and use promo code SKY.
Now,
Partly sunny good morning to some of you, mostly cloudy for others. Just another really nice day out there. Cloudy skies at the airport where it is 58 degrees here at Radio Center. We also have clouds in Midland. It's 56. Downtown Bay City is looking at 58 degrees. A south breeze has been gusting to 25. It's going to pick up a little bit more as we go through the afternoon. A little bit more in that we very easily will see wind gusts of right around 40 miles per hour. Humidity is quite low. We're at 43%. 30.02 and falling is the barometric pressure. Now, barometer is falling for a very good reason. Not one, but two low pressure systems will be tracking from the central part of the continental United States up through Wisconsin, western upper peninsula, and then into Canada over the next day and a half or so. And we are going to be looking at the chance of some precipitation. Not so much here in the Great Lakes Bay region until I think after sunset tonight, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that rain is put off till at least midnight or so. It's a fairly dry pattern. It seems to be breaking up for the most part in the west central portion of the lower peninsula. All of the activity is moving in a northeast direction from Iowa and Nebraska. So the bulk of it is moving through eastern portions of Minnesota, the state of Wisconsin, and pretty much across the upper peninsula. We have seen within the last hour or two some steady rains right at the Straits area. So the northern 25% of the lower peninsula not only is looking at clouds, but also some light precipitation. Ludington right now is reporting some drizzle. Muskegon is looking at some light rain. Fremont also light rain, but the prevailing factor of through all of this is the temperature. It's much warmer on the west side of the state than what it is here. And it started off that way this morning. Grand Rapids, Ludington, they were all where we were looking at 43 or so. They were looking at Traverse City at 53, Grand Rapids at 51. Milwaukee was at 55, Green Bay 54, Ludington was at 56. Again, all of that overnight last night. By the time the day is all done, we are going to be coming real close to a record. The record high in this state is 64, and that was set in 1977. Our projected high, we're going to need just a little glimpse of sun to get there, and I think we will have some hazy sun. 65 is what I'm looking at, along with that southwesterly wind gusting to 40 miles per hour this afternoon. Tonight, we're not really going to drop off all that much. Looking for a low of 58. Sun will set this evening at 6:37, rise tomorrow morning at 6:55. And then tomorrow, all the shower activity will be pretty much out of here. As we go through the morning hours, we're going to see the clouds thin out. And I want to say about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, a cold front, the residual of one of the low pressure systems is going to be moving out of here. So we very possibly could see 64 for a high tomorrow, but then 32 for a low tomorrow night, as everything will finally clear the state by about 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, as the second low pressure system, a much faster mover and a much drier low, is going to be clearing things out. And then a high pressure over the Dakotas is going to take over on Friday. 52, though, we're still going to be a good 12 degrees above average for our afternoon high temperature. But then Friday night, we'll drop down well below where we should be. We should drop down to about 23 this time of the year. Our low on Friday night will be 21. And during the day on Saturday, we'll have sun, 42 for a high, clear skies on Saturday night with a low of about 25. So pretty close to average. Then Sunday, partly cloudy skies, still about 42 degrees with a low of right around 25 degrees. But there will be a system developing in Kansas. Kansas and Nebraska on Sunday are going to see snow, and they could see measurable amount of snow. Is that going to play a factor in our weather? Right now, I don't think so, because whatever precipitation probabilities some forecasters had for Monday, that's been taken out of the forecast. Monday looks to be pretty uneventful, and so is Tuesday. But again, our temperatures will be right around what's average. The long-range outlook to take us through the 23rd is for our temperatures to be at or slightly above normal, precipitation values to be average at best. So that, in a nutshell, is what the weather is all about for right now. We'll be talking more about the weather as we go through the broadcast. Cody Harris is standing by at Star of the West. We'll get the latest from him as far as what the markets are doing. But before we do all of that, I want to remind you, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment. You know, for over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the little red tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. And Weiss Equipment will show you those Farmall tractors just aren't for farms anymore. Horsepower from 30 to 105 plus an army of attachments. It'll tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing, and then some. So see them for yourself today at Weiss Equipment, 450 North Main, across from Kroger and Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Cody, good morning. How's everything looking so far?
Well, good morning, Terry. I wish I could have some good news here for you this morning, but my entire screen right now is red. So looks like we got a little bit of a pullback from the report yesterday. Kind of sitting here today, kind of as everything sits here this morning. Oh, we got cash wheat. That's down 7 here, 620 on the white, 585 on the red. Looking over at new crop wheat, that's down 8 here this morning, 610 on the white, 575 on the red. Looking over at corn, cash corn's down 11 at $5 even. New crop corn's down 6 at $4.29. And looking over at soybeans, they're getting hit the hardest here this morning, Terry. We got cash soybeans down 23 at $13.77, and new crop soybeans are down 25 at $11.72.
And again, the report, give us a synopsis here. What happened?
Well, kind of a quick synopsis to this report, Terry, was a lot of these traders were expecting maybe some pullbacks on some of the balance sheets for soybeans and corn. You know, especially they were looking at maybe raise some U.S. corn exports. Maybe kind of whittle back some U.S. ending stocks and world ending stocks kind of across the board for corn and soybeans, and that really didn't happen. There really wasn't much changes. Kind of looking at the report, it was kind of a pretty boring report, to be honest, Terry. There was little changes, if any, to the balance sheets. I mean, kind of looking at everything right now, they changed or they left ending stocks for soybeans unchanged at 120 million bushels, which some traders were expecting maybe a reduction on that. Looking at corn, they didn't raise any U.S. corn exports, which a lot of traders were thinking that was going to happen. Then in addition to that, they actually increased the world corn stock number, kind of contrary to what these pre-report estimates were doing. So that kind of caught traders by surprise that it kind of wasn't a game changer report. So that's kind of why we're seeing a little bit of pullback here today, Terry.
Now, we've got another report coming up later in the month, don't we?
That is correct. I would say, 3 weeks from today on the 31st, last day of the month, we got the quarterly stocks and prospective planning report. So that may be what this report was doing, maybe kind of setting up, maybe kicking the can down the road as we get to that report. That one kind of circulating. That may be a little game changer report, kind of getting some numbers on some planning estimates in addition to some maybe some kind of preliminary kind of wheat numbers as well across the countryside. Could really shake these things up as we move forward.
And by the looks of things, Cody, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we're seeing or will see a little bit more crop in the ground by the end of March this year across the country.
Yeah, kind of like you're saying with this weather that we got here, Terry, that's definitely not off the table. So, I mean, I think we got right now just a lot of guys trying to figure out what to plant. The way the markets are right now kind of gives some opportunities to really make a little bit of money here, especially some guys that contracted some beans here early this year. even corn and wheat is kind of at some abnormally high numbers right now. So that's definitely the case, and I think we can get some stuff rolling here definitely by the end of the month.
I'm seeing some tender trucks all lined up, ready to go, Cody. Got a funny feeling when they're going to start applying some to the wheat right now. We
Just started rolling, I would say. I know we did some over the weekend, kind of any fields that didn't have any snow on it. We definitely top dressed some wheat, at least, early in the morning while there's still a little frost on the ground. But yeah, we are starting to kind of rock and roll right now with that. As long as the weather kind of cooperates, it's been going well. It seems everything's kind of, I don't want to say it too loud, kind of want to knock on wood. Everything's going pretty smooth so far as top dressing wheat, and everything's looking good. Wheat looks good right now, especially here in the Saginaw Valley region, Terry. It's looking very good.
All righty. Cody, you have a great day. We'll talk to you again in a couple, all right?
You as well. Thank you, Terry.
You betcha. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer has the latest for us. Our market report brought to you by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline, this area's certified ag dealer. Make a new Ram commercial truck and van a part of your everyday use for family and farm. From Schaefer and Beerline since 1852, where family and service sells cars. And by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They've got lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. For more information, including some information on the PPP loan situation, you might want to contact the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union by going to frankenmuthcu.org. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
What are we looking at now?
Well, a little bit rough in the grains, so that's the bad news. There's not much good news out there. Little blip in platinum, almost 2% today, but that's the only one that's really up a lot. Stock market's up pretty good. The Fed came out and said inflation is very controllable. No worries there. As long as you're not building anything or buying anything, you won't even notice that things are up in price.
Yeah. As long as you don't breathe,
right. You won't even notice there's no.
You won't notice it.
Yeah. Not at all. Here's your numbers. The May corn is 5.35, down 10 3/4. December corn 4.79, down 5 3/4. The May soybeans 14.16, down 24 cents. The November soybeans 12.35 1/4, down 26 3/4. May wheat is 6.50, down 6 1/2, and December wheat 6.46 1/4, down 7 3/4. Crude oil. Well, they announced the numbers today on the stock buildup in crude oil, and it was a decent amount of buildup, unexpected, so that's got crude down a little bit. And they said that the distillates were down a little bit, and they kind of blamed that cold snap and the fact that there was no electricity to do anything down there in Texas. So that's kind of where they came up with their numbers. But crude oil is 63.41. It's down 28 cents. Heating oil, 189.32. That's down a penny. Gasoline, 205.61. That's up 0.6 of a penny. Natural gas, 271 1/2. That's up a penny and a half. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.2644 Canadian at the border. That's up 10 ticks. The yen is at 108.62, up 16 ticks. The euro, 118.94. That's down 4 ticks. The dollar's at 92.02. That's up 6.5 ticks. Gold's at 17.1580, down $1.10. Silver's at 26.07, down 7 cents. Platinum's at 11.9840. It's up $23.
All right. You take care. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too.
You betcha. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Tri-County Equipment. Spring service specials going on right now. They've got service specials on lawn tractors, residential zero-turn mowers, commercial zero-turn mowers, compact utility tractors, high-performance Gator utility vehicles. Plus, you get 50% off pickup and delivery right now at Tri-County Equipment. Plus, you do get up to 20% off on select 1 to 5 series tractor attachments at any of the locations of Tri-County Equipment. So remember, when you're talking John Deere and Michigan's Thumb, as well as Saginaw, Reese, and Birch Run, you are talking Tri-County Equipment, working harder, doing more. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. You use precision data for making decisions and creating efficiencies all across your farming operation. Well, did you know that you can use precision data for faster, more accurate crop insurance? Farmers Mutual Hail accepts precision data from any color of equipment and almost any brand of farm management software for fast electronic reporting, quick and simple claims, and more efficient reviews. So contact your FMH agent. That's Chad Bender at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, 989-213-6177. Farmers Mutual Hail and the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency are equal opportunity providers. Along with me, I have Travis Christian. Travis is the Loveland Products representative at Nutrient Ag Solutions and a new addition to our farm service team. Travis, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on, Terry.
Hey, more than welcome. Travis, you bring a little bit of expertise to our program as well. So first and foremost, I want to ask you, what in the world is going on right now in the farming community? You got to be taking phone calls and rubbing elbows with a lot of folks right now.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things all happening at the same time. And a run of beautiful weather like this definitely gets the juices flowing, gets the heart pumping. It's exciting when we start to move into springtime because we know that planting is around the corner. And when you compound everything that has been happening in our markets, good and bad, it really creates an exciting environment to work in. That's for sure.
One thing, first and foremost, obviously, once you do get going, we're early enough, I would have to think. So folks in your realm of operation with farmers, undoubtedly, you encourage the guys to not only take care of business, but be safe as well.
Absolutely. Safety is a huge priority for us at Nutrient Ag Solutions and at Loveland Products. And we try to exemplify that in how we do our jobs. And I would absolutely encourage taking some time to take a step back and make sure that whatever we're doing it safely. And it is so important and I would tell you, as a survivor of a farm accident myself, it is absolutely critical to take a step back and make sure that whatever we're doing is safe.
Travis, thank you very much for sharing. We really appreciate it and look forward to talking to you again soon, all right?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You betcha. Travis Christian with Loveland Products, the representative at Nutrient Ag Solutions. Jerry Samalski joins us in a moment.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Tom Sullivan returns weeknights at 7 starting March 15th on WSGW.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd since 1991. Quality Roasting in Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Call them for a quote today. Jerry Samalski, good morning. What should we be doing right now in the backyard?
Terry, anything you want to transplant right now is a great time. So if you've got perennials you want to transplant, ornamental grasses, evergreens, trees, shrubs, while we're dormant, this early spring is a great time to get out there and have at that.
So get some work done. Oh, one thing I was going to ask you, plants that are wrapped with the burlap, unwrap them now?
I think maybe if you're wrapping them for wind, you're probably good to start unwrapping them. But for deer protection, I still think we got to be careful. There's still a lot of deer out there that are hungry.
Good point. Jerry, we'll talk to you again tomorrow. All righty? Take care.
Yes, sir.
Jerry Samalski. We'll be right back.
Have you been waiting for your bank to respond about getting a second round PPP loan? Hi, this is Jared Fisher, ag lender at Thumb Bank and Trust, to let you know that you are never too small for us. Many small businesses and farmers feel like they have been left behind during this unprecedented crisis. At Thumb Bank and Trust, we have made it our mission to stand up for business customers that need our help to make payroll, pay everyday expenses, and keep their doors open. We have worked hard for our customers, and as a community bank who cares deeply about our communities that we serve, we will help anyone in this time of need, whether you're a customer or not. We see people every day that have invested in their community, seeking the American dream, only to be confronted with the worst pandemic in over 100 years. If you need a partner during this extremely difficult time to help you get through it, give us a call. Call the Thumb Bank branch nearest you and see what it feels like to have a bank that cares. With offices in Pigeon, Cass City, Caseville, Bad Axe, and Bay City, where we have been community strong for over 125 years, an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. It's new parts for old tractors, and you can get them 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Steve Kaith and stimulus checks and a boost